We're back. Some announcements before we begin. As always, looking for a replacement for card / whatever the other one is. Linktree.
Linktree?
Yeah. Sam, anything for you?
We do have Codex Legendarium this week. We didn't last week, but this time it was planned. At least ahead of time. We warned you a week in advance this time. We didn't just go, surprise, we don't have a session this week. We're back this week.
We are, and it's going to be fun for everyone.
After a horrific encounter in a basement with a Chul.
Anyways, speaking of Chul things, no. I believe...
Are you going to finish that segue?
Oh,
No.
I just got that.
I believe we are ending our hiatus for the Ravenloft campaign tomorrow. Only 2 characters are alive right now and present anyway, so it fits. And then we'll be off next week for it, and should be back to a regular schedule for that on the 18th of August, which is in 2 weeks. Gross. Yep. Yeah. Kate, anything for you?
Yeah. I've got some Etsy shops. I've been talking about some vinyl decals that I have available on my site for a while, but I just wanted to remind everyone that I got some fun stickers that you can put on your water bottles or your laptops or your phone cases. Here we got Bad Dice. It's got a little 1 on the D20 up there. We have Dice Jail that you can put on if you have any, Dice Jail designated container. Let's Split the Party. That's a fun one. And does a 3-hit in Fun Rainbow. I also have non-D&D stickers like Hydrate, Don't Dehydrate. Drink water, kids. It's good for you. And also, have fun, be safe. I hope you see a dog. So check those out on my Etsy shop, Bed Dice Co. Talk to you later.
Alright. So, last we left off, y'all hung out at a spa.
Yeah.
Bath. I took a bath, got massaged. One person got massaged. Druck got massaged. Everybody else kind of just swam around in the pool. Dax and their mom had a mud bath. Druck and Kenna were going to do some drugs that Ven had on their person, but it wasn't drugs at all. It was dust of sneezing and choking, and the 2 of them began to slowly suffocate because of sneezing, but eventually both broke out of it and didn't die, because that would have been weird and funny. Eventually, you all got to play a game, take part in an activity at the spa known as basin racing, and that was dumb.
I rules lawyered the shit out of a silly player v player racing game
that I made up.
The good ship Quickie was ultimately triumphant.
They did a basin racing game that I made up in 10 minutes over the course of the break, and the winning team
honestly quality
consisted of I believe Team Quickie won, of Riqquarian, Daladra, and Quoin Harding. They won. It turned into Mario Kart at the end, but who really knows what was going on there. Now, at the end of the basin racing, you were approached by Mercutio, your assistant at the spa, this Minotaur, who mentioned it was time for the VIP experience. So, that's what we're going to pick up.
VIP, what's that mean?
I'm not too sure. It's the owner's own thing. He wants to talk to you all personally and give you something.
Is it very inebriated persons? Because we can make that
very
happen.
important persons.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Oh, okay, so I can just wait in the hallway then while you guys are doing that. So
No, you've just won a game with me. You are certainly one of the VIPs.
But it's very important. That's clearly all of you. I'm just kind of like a fan.
Okay,
so
what I need you to do is I need you to come to the water with me, and I need you to look into the reflection of the water.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
And I need you to repeat after me.
Oh, okay.
I am very important, and I am awesome.
I am very important, and I am awesome.
Right.
Do all you
Every
remember-
morning, say that 20 times into a stream or a perfectly shiny pan that is important for you.
Not 5 minutes ago.
Oh, yes.
Ricky, you caught one of my bolts out of the air. Something I shot. You grabbed it. That grappling hook right out of the air.
Wait, new guy did what?
Beginner's luck?
It was really fucking cool. Either way, beginner's luck or not, it was really cool. I got to give you props for that, Ricky.
I have never seen that before.
It is almost as if he is very important and very awesome.
Well, all right, okay, if you insist, I'll come back.
All right, yes. Okay. Also, we love being showered with praise like you do. It is a self-esteem boost, so esteem boosts all around.
Yeah, you're all fantastic. You're all, the legendary heroes.
You all did very well in the basin race, except for the one who had the net gun, because you shot me.
Who? Quoin. Why did you shoot him? With the net gun that you obviously had in your possessions and not the smoke bombs.
Yes.
I apologize, Mercutio. It was my fault.
It's alright, I don't exist anyway. This way. I'll take you back to the change room. You'll need to be dressed for this affair.
Wait, are you like a vision? Are you an illusion?
I
If you don't exist? I'm gonna try to give Mercutio a high five or a fist bump.
He's solid.
Okay. Well, you're certainly solid.
Thank you. This way, you'll have to be changed for this. I doubt you want to be wearing... Anyways, this way. And he leads you back to the change rooms. I'll wait out here until you're ready.
Leedle.
Which means you can change, grab all your equipment that you left in the change room, and have all your stuff
Oh,
back.
we can grab. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
So anything you had... Also, I looked at the rules for unattunement. If you're more than 100 feet away from from something you're attuned to, you lose attunement to it.
Cool.
But you're all still attuned to everything.
Okay.
Yeah, because fuck that noise.
Pocket dimension, 100 feet, all around.
Because fuck that noise. But
Oh, so if you did put something in a pocket, like in the bag of holding, you would become unattuned to it.
yes,
Okay.
because it's in another dimension.
Yeah.
Another dimension.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which is fun. And
That's
also,
one way to unattune to something
yeah,
very quick.
I know. I said last week that no, you can leave something and you'll be attuned to it. I looked up the rules for attunement. If you're more than 100 feet away from something, it drops.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of dumb. Anyways, when you're all changed and ready to go, he leads you back to the lobby.
I will say Quoin finds the...
Oh, right. That's right.
The origami little bird with the ring tucked into it. The ring with two little ferrets that are kind of like nuzzled together around the ring, little white fur.
Who's
There is a
next to me?
note. There is
I was
a
gonna say,
note.
I was gonna say, I can open it up,
It
but I
is
was
a
like,
letter.
kind of looking around, like, all right. Okay.
So I don't know if Quoin can read, but in Draconic.
Quoin can read Draconic at least.
I don't know. I don't know these things.
He learned how to read the scrolls of Bahamut. He learned how to read on the scroll. Okay,
But like I just thought Quoin
I'll
was
give
really
you that
good
it's
at
probably like
retaining and repeating.
it's probably like a, middle school reading level, but
Luckily, these aren't big words.
You can read as long as your intelligence score isn't below 10.
Yeah. So I've got it.
Okay, so it says Dear Quoin, but Quoin is spelled like coin, like Coin, yeah.
Just laughing
because he doesn't know that your name is spelled a little differently. He goes, this continues, this ring is a bit of a traveling heirloom to be gifted from one friend to another. I know it hasn't been long, but yes, I see you as a friend, a close one at that. The last time I received this, the person I saw was taken away. I don't want to see that happen again. But I'm sure no matter how many journeys and adventures this ring sees, I wish for you to bear it next, but only if you wish, and I hope you do. Signed, F.
Quoin tries to put it in the most back, because the note was written on the origami paper.
Yeah, so it's like he folded up a little piece of parchment.
So it's trying to fold it as best he can. Probably the wing gets a little fucked up. So
Little nubby wigs.
Oh. Goes off and then puts that in there. Puts it in his pocket for now. Not quite sure if he should wear it or not. Like how.
Ring is a ring of warmth, by the way, just so you know for your purposes. It is a magical ring.
Thank you. Yeah, I figured it was a magical ring. I wasn't sure if I should put it on now. Yeah, Quoin has a mission now. So, like if we're playing Telltale games, Quoin will remember that.
Quoin will remember this.
And he'll look dead-eyed at me in the AI screen.
Oh yeah.
Great. Awesome. So.
I can't wait for. Anyways.
All right. Right on.
Slip a note to Dax. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, it reminds me. Dax, the letter you tried sending wouldn't have been able to get sent because there are no Wayfarers Guild branches on Remnant.
Son of a fucking.
So
are we on? Oh.
No, it's yeah.
Gotta snail mail it.
Okay, so it just wouldn't have sent at all. Okay.
Once they realize the Wayfarers Guild realize it's for somebody on Remnant, yeah, they just wouldn't have sent.
Is there?
Okay.
Now,
okay.
This is a weird semantic thing I'm just curious about in the world, if it's okay.
Yeah.
If someone gives mail and then like walks away, now do they have to send a delivery person to the person who dropped it and saying, this is undeliverable, but they still have to send someone out to find the person who originally dropped it?
I guess we'll find out.
You know what? That's true. We will find out. I was just curious how that worked. It's cool. I love it. I don't know if anyone watching cares about this kind of stuff, but I do love knowing how like what
the
seems
mail
like
system
things.
works.
Well, like what I would take for well, like what I would take for granted.
Mhm.
Like like I love like in Avatar: The Last Airbender when you see Earthbenders who essentially run the subway system, and I'm like, do they get home and they're like, oh boy, you wouldn't believe. There's no war in Bossing Say, but I pushed the shit out of a couple train cars today. I feel real good.
But do you all
Anyway, sorry.
do you all change and get all your stuff back?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he leads you back to the lobby towards the butterfly garden.
Does it appear as though any of our stuff was touched?
Nope.
Okay.
So he leads you towards the butterfly garden and taps the wall in various places with his knuckles, and a door shimmers into existence on the wall. And you get this weird feeling like there was a door there the entire time, but you couldn't see it. Druck, you actually would have probably sensed there was a door there the entire time. Because you're like,
I knew it!
He opens the door and leads you all through into a large open chamber filled with people. Some are elegantly dressed, some are adorned in the platinum dragon armor of the Crown's Guard, and others just appear like everyday people. This chamber is adorned in brilliantly colored silks that hang from the ceiling with lanterns adorning the walls, illuminating the chamber in a dull orange glow. And it smells of various incense, and there are people moving around that are dressed in the same kind of toga-like attire as Mercutio. The most important people have come here for the prince's coronation, which has been delayed a few weeks. They've come from all over the world. We've offered them accommodations due to the change in schedule, and the tips have been quite generous. And you're brought towards a spiral staircase that descends downwards. Leads you down the steps and through a silk curtain into another chamber. In the center of this chamber is a large diamond-shaped table of stone piled with silver platters, goblets, and baked goods. And these are clearly the baked goods you all brought from the glutton for punishment. Sat around the table are numerous stone chairs, and sat in 3 of these chairs are 3 human men. One you recognize as David, the man you rescued from the catacombs. Sat beside him is a young man with shoulder-length brown hair and super bushy sideburns. He's dressed in a gray silk shirt and dark blue vest and gray trousers. And sat across from the 2 of them is a man in his early 70s with balding white hair and a thick bushy beard. He's wearing a noble outfit of a light gray, almost cream color. Mercutio bows, says, "I've brought them," and the older man gestures for the empty chairs as Mercutio leaves.
Are there enough chairs for all of us?
Yes.
We'll take a seat.
There's exactly 6 extra chairs.
There's 6 of us.
Right.
take a
None of us
seat.
are.
Yeah.
None of us have 2 characters. This.
Correct.
Yeah. At least not yet.
Well,
Looking at you, Sam.
I mean,
Not at once. Not at once.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
One's dead.
We got to kill one off each.
Last campaign that happened. So, yeah, the older man gestures for you all to sit in the empty chairs.
So we sit into the
Yeah.
empty chairs.
Take a seat. Flitz us.
Yeah, so Quoin goes and takes a seat next to Flitz.
Okay.
Just kind of leans over, is like, "Thank you for the gift. The gifts. Sorry, plural gifts."
You're welcome.
I'd like to thank you for saving my son. I owe you my utmost gratitude. We've been struggling without my wife, and it's absolutely abhorrent what the temple and those in charge have done. Thank you for ending that travesty. And he reaches to his side and places a large coin purse on the table. Your payment. I told the guild I wish to pay you personally. And he pushes it towards you all. It should all be accounted for. I'm Aaron Crow. This is my firstborn Carrig, and you've already met David. And yeah, in the coin purse, is 1,500 gold. And Drek, you were saying?
He was just agreeing that we've already met this person.
Oh, okay.
Dracus just said, "Oh yes."
Sorry, what was the old man's name? Aaron?
Aaron, Arryn.
I got every letter wrong
Good.
except for the consonant.
And what was the oldest son's?
Carrig. Kerrigit.
Oh, Carrick's the one that I actually put in the...
Yeah, the
okay.
contract.
Yeah.
Carrick actually did the contract. I was confused because I had Carrick mother, so I was like, wait, is that the mom? Then I remembered. Okay. Thank you.
So thank you for that. Every coin should be accounted for. 1,500 gold, I believe, was the payment.
Yeah, don't worry about pressing pennies together. I think
Oh, we make a lot of money here. There's no worry.
Yes, it's a fine establishment that you have here.
Very, very fun establishment.
How fine... Why would he say that? How fine
how
is it?
fine is it?
I would say it's
It is
it's-
so fine.
Fine.
it is a standard 5 stars and not a 5 stars plus, just because we've come in and there
Excellent.
was absolutely no oyster bowl to be had.
Oh,
And
yes, not a fan.
one suggestion.
Well,
one suggestion.
Before you make
is-
your suggestion, I do have something to say. I'll be retiring shortly, and my sons wish to expand our ventures here around the world, having a bathhouse and spa in every major city of the continent. and elsewhere. If you're interested, you seem capable. I'd like you all to be partners in this venture and help run this location. We'll sort of be silent absentee partners. If you're interested, I'll provide a document you can read over and sign it. You'll get a cut of the monthly profits. Simply come back here once a month. Mercutio will pay you. He'll run it in your absence, and the contract that I have will go over the minute details if you're interested.
Quoin would like to whisper into Kenna's ear. Kenna, what if we were to counter with helping be silent partners to open one of these in Remnant? We already have a location they could use. We own a home in Remnant.
But didn't we send Dax's dad there?
Okay, but
They
who wouldn't
got
want
their
to?
own digs.
and who
Never
would-
mind.
And also, who wouldn't want to live in a spa for free? Okay, that's all. If you want, go ahead, take it.
No. All right. Actually, we might have a counter offer. We have recently come into ownership of some property in the capital of Remnant, and we would like to offer that as perhaps a new place of business for you in a new continent.
Persuasion check.
Oh shoot! Can I have some guidance from or some help from Quoin?
Let's take this international.
Quoin didn't really.
I think Quoin gave me the idea.
True.
That's true.
Yeah, advantage.
Also, if y'all adding that 1,500 gold to your carriage seats, divided only by 5, because Ricky didn't help with that.
Oh, Ricky's not taking any.
He didn't help
No,
with it.
I mean, that does,
That's fair.
That one is like, I showed up.
So you each
after
get
you finished the job.
you each get minus Ricky. You each get 300 gold.
Okay.
Yeah, Ricky showed up after. He's like, oh yeah, I'll take some.
That would be ridiculous. To...
Double
Hey, Ricky, here you go. Have-
17s
have
for
some
an
money for a job.
18.
Okay. I'm not
I don't have a-
familiar with Remnant, but I believe that can be arranged. Never mind the contract then.
All right. Yeah.
we would
We
perhaps
will.
do a new contract.
Yeah.
Takes a long
going
time
to-
to write up contracts, and I believe the dungeon master doesn't have the mental capacity to do so right now.
That's
no,
fair.
no worries. That is take however long
I
you need.
will send a contract, a newly drafted up contract to you in the mail at some point within the next coming days or weeks. This was the VIP experience. I was going to give you the spa here.
Oh.
So, I guess that's
Well-
business done then.
Why can't both be a part of said contract?
That's too much.
That is
Okay,
fair.
that is fair. Yeah, that is. When someone tells you they are out of spoons in their drawer, it is obviously a good thing to respect that.
Yeah.
Where else are you looking to? Where are you looking to expand to?
I did say all over the world.
Oh, but usually you just we're going to start popping them up.
My son's
Is that
where I'm
where-
retiring.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes, I missed that part.
So yeah, if David wants to go to Remnant and help set that up,
I'd
we have a
rather
place
not
for
go
it.
to Remnant.
that you know what? That's fair. It's a very dangerous
Also-
country.
Why are you telling me where to go?
It was just a suggestion. I'm sorry, David. I didn't mean to step.
I will. I'll draft up another contract and we'll figure this out. Where exactly in Remnant would this be?
It would be in the capital city of
Whereabouts in the capital city?
in
Do you have-
Magol?
Right
Yeah.
across the street from the palace.
Do you have
Yeah.
a description?
It's at this address.
Do you have a description of the building so I know where it is? Do you have a deed
Yes.
for the building that I can have? I would have to have the deed.
Yes.
We also have a teleportation circle right to there that would make any sort of teleportation or materials needed a very easy transportation.
That
Do
would
think
make
them
upkeep
are-
costs more expensive.
Or less
For
expensive?
well, it requires money to use teleportation circles.
It would cost more in time and
Right,
resources.
so it's
to
just something
travel,
to be
yes.
accounted into.
Right.
For sure.
50 gold pieces, I believe, per person to teleport.
Not per person, no.
To draw the circle is 50 gold pieces of materials.
Well,
But
yeah, but
not
then
per
it's
person.
yeah, it's not per person. It's however
Nah,
it's
whatever.
50 per cast, but yeah, 50 per trip.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well,
Listen, if this deal is absolutely dookie for you, we don't have to do it.
It sounds a bit strange, but I think we can work with it.
I was just thinking you had a business, we had a property, that is a partnership. I am not the mouth of the Faust and the Furious. I'm going to sit back down and just...
Well, I would require the deed.
Oh, right. I'm the person who keeps most
Yeah.
of the paper.
Yeah.
And then we'd have to get someone to legally change ownership of the deed over to the business, to the corporation.
It takes so long to get your notary license.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes so
It'll
long.
probably take a while. A few weeks, I'll say, at max, to sort this all out.
Yeah, once you have sorted everything out, your people will reach out to our people. We'll get the deed officially given. We can make that happen. But however long it takes, we are leaping at the chance to
Yes.
Um,
Now, if you do,
make it work.
so instead of having to come here every month to an Undeal City to get the payment, you'd have to go to the capital city of Remnant to get your monthly payments.
It's a little. Well, I mean,
You said there was a teleportation circle.
there is, but none of us currently have access to it.
Yeah, none of you have knowledge of that teleportation circle.
I mean, I could get us there, but we'd have to like
Well, just saying that is.
man in the
that
mountains. I don't think there's
is-
any trees in Anvil Barrack.
I'm just saying, there is not. That is.
I mean, if you want to go forward with your previous proposition, we could go for it.
Leave, and I'll deal with this in the coming days. I'm old and tired
Sure.
and need to go to bed. This got way more complicated than I anticipated.
We're sorry for making it
Very
complicated.
fitting.
but we know.
Very, very fitting for this group.
Yes, sorry that we created D&D poison by making it actually by adding red tape and bureaucracy.
I was
Henry
just,
Lofferton Esquire is offended.
I was just trying to.
Too bad we don't have Henry
I
in our
thought-
party for this.
I really wouldn't, because I suck at drafting up contracts. Very old. Bed's calling me. My sons will
Yeah.
escort you back to the lobby. Lots of work to do, apparently.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It was nice to meet you. Thank you. You have a lovely establishment.
You're welcome back anytime, free of charge.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
If the contract happens.
Fair.
Oh,
Fair.
All employees in all employees of this corporation get access to spa facilities for free. So
Yeah, one free spa day per month.
not every day. Now if you are I will go over some other logistics just before you leave. You will have to ensure the place is maintained and employed, and you will have to pay the employees of that establishment. And because this isn't coming out of the treasury of this location, it'd be coming out of all of your own pockets to fund that treasury of that location, since it hasn't been built yet. Sound good? All right, I'm off to bed. We'll get the drafted up contract the next couple of days.
What did we?
Y'all just straight
What
up
did
win.
you
We don't
guys
want
do?
a free
Fair,
So
We don't want a free
Absolutely
job,
fair.
a free place. We want
this would have
pay
been
for our own.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's gonna be you're gonna be paying for this location, the remnant one out of your own pocket. Everything.
Gosh. We have the
You know
place.
what? We fucked
They're
up
helping
your
a
plans, we
small
deserve it.
business.
You're helping a
Yeah.
small business, but you're gonna have to. Anyways,
Yeah.
God,
That's what
I
they say.
still
That's
gotta
what you-
start my mom's business
Listen,
back up. God.
They're job
listen.
creators.
Everybody
you are.
wants to play D&D to run their own spa with just a couple of friends. And
You know,
really
as a
become
small Etsy shop runner,
entrepreneurs
this
and-
is a dream come true. This is what I
Perfect.
set out to do when I opened my
Um,
Etsy.
But
Thank you for making my dreams come true.
He's
every time that's what they
Uh,
want.
We'll draft up this contract in the next couple of weeks. I'll have it sent out, notarized, and all of that. And I look forward to doing business with you all. And if you do have this establishment, feel free to rename it. But as long as it's known to be under the Peaceful Pastures Corporation banner. Wonderful. I'm
So
going
we
to
would
bed
make-
now.
Yep. Bye.
My
bring it, gang, bring it
my
in.
sons will escort you back to the lobby. This is my own private chamber, so
Yes. Lovely chamber.
and he leaves, and the sons escort you back to the lobby.
All right. Thank you. I hope you have a good evening.
Hope you do as well. Thanks for the snacks.
Yes. Gang, bring it in. Let's get out of their hair for a moment.
Alright, yeah, Drug, what's going on? What's up?
All right, guys. We need to get some type of lawyer to write up contracts for us or something. We need like a group representative so
I
that we don't
thought
have
that
to
was-
deal with this type of thing. This is not our strength.
I mean, I thought as the mouth of the party that was kind of my job, but if we want to get like more legalese into it, like I'm not like, you know,
We need
very
s-
fanciful when I talk.
We need someone who has like had what's
Quoin,
going
what
on?
are you, Ricky, what are you doing
it's
over there? Get over
Ricky.
here.
What?
Get
No,
over
me,
here.
Me and
Come here.
Ricky were creating a new hand language together.
What the? Are you doing? What is this? Are you doing the?
I was. Well, you were all having a private conversation, so I was just occupying myself.
Do you have?
I don't want
any-
to wait. Jack, before you get too deep into that, I don't want to overstep, but I think you kind of screwed yourself on a good deal. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think.
Ooh,
I,
what?
I think y'all did just a little bit, just
I
a
think
little
so,
bit.
Yeah.
You essentially are now opening a business that's going to be branched off this business, but coming out of your pockets.
Yeah, we have no financial support from our parent company.
So why don't we, maybe send a letter saying we would like to just keep the old contract, or why don't we just do that right now, instead of, or just
I tried,
Listen,
but,
decline
this
like,
is why, guys.
you
This is
didn't
why I
see
said we should have some type of legal representative, so we don't have to deal with this type of thing. You
I
could
don't
just
know why
say,
people keep giving us property and businesses.
They
I
don't.
like the property. I like having like a home. It's the only home I've ever had, and
Yeah.
you kind of just gave it away.
I mean, when's the next time we're gonna be in Ambleveric though? And we can still like stay there. We still have like rooms there.
The
And also the king-
the ownership,
we're
the ownership would get transferred over to this corporation, so it wouldn't be your house anymore.
Yeah,
And it wouldn't.
Also, I
it'd
think
be,
they
it'd
were
be,
giving
it'd be
them
turned
the
into a
deed.
spa. It'd be turned into a spa, not a
Yeah,
house.
they'd gut the place and turn it into a spot. There wouldn't be
out of
homes
your
anymore.
pocket money.
Yeah.
Well, if it's our
What-
pocket monkey, we could turn it into whatever we pocket monkey. Well, it's our nice pocket monkey.
I'm just saying. Perhaps you should have someone that we can refer people to when it comes to resolving some of the bureaucratic aspects of our job.
Have y'all made
Who?
any friends or allies that would be willing to do that?
I wonder if Mr. Boone knows any lawyer taps.
No.
Wait, who said that?
That was weird. Was that you,
The
Bahama?
wind.
The only one that Mr. Boone knows is far too busy to be writing up contracts for some random group of people.
That he doesn't know.
Yeah. He's busy running a country.
Who's that
Island,
person
town, city.
Who's the person that what was their name? They were kind of helping run this city. They seemed like the type that might know
You mean
someone.
Fenthrin?
Who's,
Silverhand?
No, started with an L.
Latimer?
Right, Latimer.
He's a political advisor.
Yeah.
Well,
We need
if
we
he's
need
Druid
a
doesn't know.
political advisor, guys.
Druck's like, hey, you're the political advisor for the country. Could you politically
Y'all are
advise
going
us?
from we need a lawyer to we need the secretary of a state.
As you're all
They're
standing,
both the same.
Everybody. I
Yeah,
think
Dex.
that's
Yeah.
I
Hey
think
Dex, how
that's-
is Thranazar as far as legalese? He seems pretty smart.
I think that after all that relaxation, maybe our minds are a little relaxed and aren't very sharp on what we should do next. Why don't we?
I'm very sharp. I know exactly what we're doing next.
Why don't we? Oh, what time is it during the day right now?
It's 6 p.m.
evening.
Okay.
Why don't we
yeah.
go take a walk or something and just get the legs flowing
And maybe we can find a lawyer's office on our walk.
I'm gonna shoot myself.
You know what they say? You know what they say? Play D&D to start small businesses and
yeah.
make
I made a mistake.
become landlords. Let's all become landlords. That'll be dope. Because they're the coolest people.
The renter becomes
Then-
the rentee.
Then we need to at that point we need to start a completely separate campaign and hand our
Speaking
our
of
character sheets to Justin.
speaking of campaigns, how about we get back on track?
I was just gonna say because generally the DMG suggests that when your characters become irrevocably evil, you
They're
have
done.
to just give over
They're done.
your character sheets.
Yeah, if you become landlords, that's the end of the campaign.
yeah.
the ultimate BB.
No one wants to watch that.
No one wants to watch the minutiae of running a business.
So you evict your last tenant, and that's the end of the campaign, guys. Thank you so much for playing.
Oh, there's a weird pandemic, and
As
you don't
we're
let them
getting back
stay in
on
the same
track,
apartment.
as we're getting back on track, and you're all outside, as Dax suggested, a letter hits Dax in the face. Kind of like it flutters out of the air and just hits you in the face, and it's addressed to your dad. And it just says, stamped on it,
Oh.
failed to
Return to
send,
sender.
return to sender.
Dope.
I'm actually very happy this did not get to him. And Dax is just going to rip it up a couple times and put it in their bag.
Fair.
All
Well,
right.
I feel great. We should probably get some food, like actual food, not.
Hey, Druck, how are we looking on that dragon meat? We still got time to cook that up?
No, we use that as bait.
Yeah, it's all
Right.
gone. It's all gone.
That's all gone. And we don't got any more jerky.
There's also restaurants.
We could also just go to some restaurants in town. We've never really had dinner here. We've only really had.
I've had dinner
breakfast.
many times here.
I mean, I'm still pretty full from all the stuff from the
Oh, yeah, you all ate like baked goods all day.
But that's just me. If you're still peckish, we can find a nosh somewhere, kinda.
No, I'm the one who made that suggestion, so I'm going to get me some dinner.
There's
You
as I said before, there's food stalls all over the market district. There isn't actually like sit-down restaurants. It's mostly just food stalls.
it's not like a
Yeah, if we wanna
tavern or an
go-
inn or a
I mean,
tavern.
there's taverns and inns, but it's
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, street food's the best. food,
Oh,
let's
what's
be
this? Falafel? Sounds great.
Yo, tacos?
Yeah, do you get your tacos? We'll all come back and eat at the same picnic table.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Someone roll for the weather today if you're eating outside.
So, that's
Sure,
probably
Lovely
good.
vegan fish tacos
D20,
today.
here we go.
Yeah.
19.
I think that's pouring rain. Let me double check.
I feel like most things are pouring rain on that
Is
check.
it chocolate rain? If we crit, is it chocolate rain?
No.
Chocolate rain.
Heavy rain.
Oh,
Well,
Dope.
Goes the downpours.
So then if it is falafel, we all look like that fucking what the guy in fucking Batman Begins. What?
oh yeah,
Kids don't like falafel?
yeah. Just eating was like soaking wet falafel in the rain. God, that was gross.
Falafel, 1 copper piece. So that's what you're eating.
Oh hell yeah. Anybody who would like falafel, I will pay. Please get as much as you like.
The stall is called Fred's Falafel.
Hey, Fred.
Yeah.
Start.
You want falafel?
Oh, Fred, you sound like a dying chew toy. Yeah, here's.
Say that to a man's face.
I would, because I would be like, here, go to the doctor. Here's 2 gold.
I have a disease.
Yes, go seek help. Here's 2 gold for you. We're going to buy some falafel. Who wants falafel? I'm taking one. Anyone? Flitz?
No.
They're
I don't think they
falafel.
have-
It's falafel wraps.
What is
sounds-
falafel?
It is balls of beans that have been fried and put with other delicious herbs and spices and put into wraps that are flavored with garlic. Just some pretty good shit.
Anything else in it?
No meat.
Oh, all right.
I mean,
I'll take a falafel.
I think the sauce though might have like milk or eggs in it.
No, we
Yeah,
could just get
Yeah.
hummus.
Yeah. So, yeah, get the tan
Moose?
sauce,
Well, I
not the
don't
white
eat
sauce.
It's all vegan.
I say baba
Perfect.
ganoush.
Yes. We'll just get a big old thing of falafels and we can
You
just
could
go.
also just
Alright.
eat them by themselves.
If you paid that much gold, you would have bought out the stall. So.
Exactly.
Perfect.
I want this man to like be able to take a couple days off and rest
Alright,
because he sounds
He hobbles
Get-
away.
get out of the rain.
exhausted. He sounds
Yeah,
exhausted.
standing in the rain having to cook falafel. Just no one's
Yeah,
eating my
that's
falafel.
thing.
That sounds miserable. I'm going to eat this falafel
Okay, it's
and be happy.
It's falafel.
Great. Sounds awesome.
If Queen's
Sounds dope
buying
as
out
shit.
this man's
Deep
stand, I'll have
fried,
some
deep fried chickpea balls with all the
Oh.
garnishes.
Oh, that
nice
sounds
and
very
warm.
good.
Sit by the window
Eh,
and watch.
warm-ish in the pouring rain, but yeah,
If we
I
go
mean,
to
Also, very good falafel is awesome.
that's so good.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. It's very, very good.
Do we want to go back to my place and eat this, or do we want to find a picnic table?
I
It-
mean,
Your house from this area would be about an hour walk.
Tree stride.
Yeah, there's trees in the city. It'd be a.
Wait, is it? No, it's not 500 feet. That's got to be like at least 2 miles.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I know my mother went back to the house, Kenna.
Well, we have falafel for her too. Unless that she wants to be alone, then we will respect that.
She told me before things got a little upside down. Her and my father had a bit of a fight, so I don't know if she's feeling that great right now. She might want a little space, but I'm not sure. That's why I
Oh,
need
wait.
to send.
he's gonna pull out the tower. We can just use this, right?
Can't set it up in the middle of the street.
Oh, that's
How close
true.
are we to the gates outside the city?
An
They're gonna be-
hour.
Yeah, they're gonna be upset that. Never mind.
What?
We
A,
could always go check on her, see how she is, and we can always take the tower out.
But we just eat at the house then if we're already going
You,
there.
you would
Yeah.
not be allowed to use a tower in the city
yeah, we'd have to get out of the city.
because you'd be summoning a building in the middle of the city. People would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah, let's go check on her,
Oh,
make sure she's
that
doing
falafel
all right.
looks so good.
Doesn't it though?
Oh.
What is that? Is that like some type of juice squishing out the side? What the fuck?
What
That's
do you mean?
falafel.
Anyways, back on track 'cause that's not part of the session. What are you guys doing?
Let's head back to the house.
Okay, it takes an hour to get there,
Sure.
so it'd be about 7 p.m. now.
Could Flitz be using prestidigitation to keep the falafel dry and warm?
Sure, if
As-
Flitz chooses so.
Yeah.
It's like falafel that's gotten wet and then you blow dried it dry again.
Ugh.
Or we could also put it in the bag of preserving.
Yeah. Jeez, we are
So,
on one tonight,
you get
y'all.
to Kenna's house. The falafel is perfectly fine. Holy
Perfect. Knock on the door first.
fuck. No answer.
Dax's mom.
It seems like the big bad evil guy this session is on task in this.
Wiggle the door handle.
It's locked.
I don't have a key.
Kenna, do you have a key?
I have the spare, and I knock over a flower pot and get it.
Yeah, sure.
I just like the idea that you knock over the flower pot like off of something, so you just like shove it and just ping, it just shatters.
You.
No, I pick up a flower pot and get the spare key.
I was gonna say like on the bottom of the flower pot, break in case of emergency.
Okay,
Just
so
like-
you get the key.
Yeah, I unlock the door and open it a little bit and knock like, "Hello,
It's
you
quiet.
good in there? We brought some falafel."
It's quiet.
Creak it open a little more. Dax, what's your mom's name?
Just Mom, can just
Mom.
Oh god.
I don't know.
It's
It's,
one
like a
of
little
the-
kid. What's your mom's name?
I
Mom?
call her Mom, okay? Mom, Dax will
So
speak
Dax
up.
is an
you,
adult.
so as Dax calls it, you can see, you hear someone like upstairs moving around, going, "Hello." And they
She
sound
like a-
Druck. What's everyone's passive insight?
16.
And
11.
50.
my
Terrible.
my passive insight is 22.
Druck.
thanks.
You hear just a tiny smidge of absolute dread in their voice.
Something's wrong.
Hello? Who is it?
It's us. It's the Faust and the Furious.
And you can see Dax's mom come down, who doesn't have a name apparently. Comes down from the comes down from upstairs holding onto like a rolling pin. Oh, and they relax just slightly.
We brought some falafel and we wanted to make sure you were okay.
Someone was in here moving around about an hour ago.
Druck starts looking around,
Yeah, we search
seeing
the
if
house
there's
immediately.
anything.
What?
Quoin too.
Anyone, Druck and Quoin, investigation checks.
I would
Let's
also
grab
like.
the falafel
No, I'm
and-
gonna.
Marthel, her name is Marthel.
Marthel.
Why did you say that name?
Save Marthel!
Yeah, investigation checks. Druck, I'll let you do perception because
Mama Marthel.
Okay.
Can I cast guidance on Druck while he and Quoin split off?
you do have to be right up on touching distance for guidance. Just keep that in mind.
I mean, I imagine he has to walk past me to get inside. So
Sure.
I'm still up on the door.
Okay, yep.
I'll take it.
Is that a D4 or is it? It's a D4, right?
D4.
Dax just going right up to her mom and just kind of like puts her arm around her because I rolled
She
a 6. so
recoils.
she's
She
too big.
recoils a little. She's just terrified. She doesn't want, it looks like she just does not want to be touched. And Quoin, what'd you get?
Just a 10, but like I'm just
Okay,
really
you're
tearing
like
through.
really just tearing through that. You're not giving.
jumping
Yeah,
on
okay.
tables, kind of being just more a bull in a china shop.
Okay,
than
cool, fair
helpful.
enough. Druck, what'd you get?
30.
Fuck.
If someone
Okay,
farted, he
let
could tell
me-
you what they ate.
I'll
What
find
they ate?
another-
What they ate? No, I'm gonna try to.
Waffles.
I'm gonna try to explain this the best I can for that.
Okay.
You don't see footprints. The floor isn't dusty, but the floorboards are uneven, as if something large was walking through here, and you can see the displacement of the floorboards, that something big was walking in here. Bipedal. No footprints, just the floorboards are uneven, like an immense weight was stepping down on floorboards. And they go around the entire upstairs like they were looking for something, and they went towards the basement that you all found out existed underneath the house where Kenna's mom was kept in a chest. And that's where the footprints, the uneven floorboards go to, is towards the basement. It's just like, what?
I love hearing information that y'all discovered and just being completely fucking blindsided by it.
You guys,
Yeah, that's where y'all discovered
Blindsided.
Kenna's
As
mom
far
was
as he
tucked in a
knows,
fucking
the basement doesn't
chest.
exist.
you guys. So Druck, you guys would see Druck kind of like notice something with the floorboards and like kind of put his weight on one and then get his head right down next to it. Adjust his little pince-nez glasses so he can like get a closer look at this thing.
Okay, so as you get a closer look, I'm gonna give you more details, if that's cool. Judging on the indentation of the floorboard and how uneven it is, you'd guess whoever was walking up here was about 500 pounds.
Yeah. Kinda,
Yeah.
Do you think that person of interest that is quite large that you know of?
And Drek, as your head is down by the floorboards, you can see a solitary black feather in between two floorboards, like it had fallen off. It's about this big.
Yeah. I'll take like a dagger because he just sees a very small part of it.
Yeah.
And just kind of like prise it out.
Yeah, it's a big, long black feather.
And he'll just hold it up.
I would like to cast clairvoyance.
Hell yeah! Into the basement?
Into the basement.
Okay, can you... let me just pull up the spell real quick.
Shikar real fast, y'all.
Yeah.
It is a 10-minute casting, though.
Okay, so what's everybody else doing for those 10 minutes? Druk's got the feather. Do you have a focus worth at least 100 gold pieces? It's either a jeweled horn or hearing or a glass eye for seeing?
Yes. I got one in... Oh, where was it?
Oh, yes, that's right. You have the... It's an eye, right?
Oh, in the mountains. I got it from the giant
That's right. Okay, I remember that. Alright, so you're doing that. What's everybody else doing in these 10 minutes? Quoin is... I know what Quoin's doing. Quoin's like... bullet trying to chop.
Yeah, well, like trying to like fly everywhere and see something. Also noticing Marthel. Kenna, are there any? Is there like a throw blanket on a couch or anything like that, or a chest of drawers?
If you guys recall,
yeah,
when the house was abandoned, because your family disappeared, everything was sold off or stolen. So there's actually nothing in the house.
Yeah. So everything that's in the house that is in one piece was either purchased by Marthel and her husband, or fixed, or donated, or brought by us.
So there's a table, there's some chairs.
It's
but
bare.
It's bare.
Yeah. There's like maybe still a built-in bar where things were purchased.
That would still be there.
That's it.
But,
then I'm probably gonna grab a blanket or some piece of bedding.
Yeah.
From Gode's chest, and then go over to Dax.
Dax is just trying.
Give him the elbow, and then hand him a blanket for their mom.
Okay, and they
it's like
they take it, and they wrap themselves
Dax.
in it, and they're still.
Well, it's I'm giving it to Dax.
Oh, right.
To them.
Like Dax will like just like gently like put it over their shoulders and just.
Yeah, they're still just a little too frightened to really comprehend anything. They're just kind of like focused on their own like little world, it would seem.
It's all right. You're safe. We're here. We're not going anywhere.
Doesn't respond. Just silent.
Dax is just trying to like gentle like words of like encouragement. Just trying to keep.
Flitz and Ricky, you doing anything for these 10 minutes?
Looking around the house, just like, oh, you have a lovely home. Whose house is this again?
Oh yeah, Ricky.
Oh, Ricky.
This is and then what's Flitz doing for 10 minutes?
Flitz kind of got a little distracted, and his mind's kind of weird right now. He's gonna like wander upstairs. He hasn't been in this house before, so he's gonna wander upstairs and just kind of.
Most of the rooms are empty.
Basically,
there's a double bed upstairs where some people look like they were sleeping recently. Not recently, but.
The basic layout was like a sitting room, a mini kitchen, and then a master bedroom and a child's bedroom. Was the initial
the kitchen is upstairs.
Yeah.
Is there like a closet?
Probably not. It probably used to just be like a giant dresser that was stolen.
Giant
Or broken down.
Is there like so in the kitchen there has to be like cabinets?
Someone
or
really
something
needed
like that,
some
right?
particle board.
The kitchen would have cabinets and stuff. I assume.
Yeah, he's gonna like open one of the furthest cabinets, and he's gonna take out his little dagger.
What's your passive perception?
Oh, 10.
You open one of the cabinets and a mouse jumps out at you.
He'll jump. He'll scream
Okay, you all hear Flitz scream from upstairs.
like a shrilly.
Let's.
It's okay.
It
It's
doesn't
okay.
it doesn't sound like a serious scream. Just like, oh, like
It was a mouse. But he's gonna focus. He's
Hey,
gonna
what
take
you
the
got
dagger.
going on there,
Oh
friend?
my god, I forgot. I forgot he could hear them.
Scared the fuck out of me.
I'm sorry. How about you? There's some
Bite your
crumbs
fucking face
downstairs.
out. Whoa, crumbs, and then just.
Yep. He's gonna take the ring of telekinesis and he's gonna take a dagger and he's gonna hover it, but he's going to on the cabinet. He's gonna kind of like write out Faust and the Furious, and then he's gonna do the symbol that kind of like part of the iconography of the vase. Like he's gonna try to like. He's trying to like focus his mind on something that isn't chaos right now.
Cool. All right. It'd be about this time where clairvoyance would be done being cast.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sending it down into the basement.
Yeah.
Okay. Within range of a mile. Oh, okay, cool. So you into the center of the basement. Do you have Dark Vision?
I do, I believe.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you doing seeing or hearing?
Seeing.
Okay. It is an action to switch.
Mm-hmm.
So as you summon it in the basement, you see a row of chairs. Not a row, sorry. Chairs have been lined up in a circular pattern in the center of the basement. All facing outward. Like the seat is facing outward. And there's about 9 chairs. And sat in each chair looks like a figure draped in a black veil.
Can I use my action to change to hearing?
Yes. You don't hear anything.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to seeing, and I'm just gonna watch them until we hear anyone else hears anything from up here.
You.
And then I'm gonna like quietly describe what I'm seeing.
Yeah, Flitz doesn't hear because Flitz is upstairs doing stuff. So it kind of describes that scene to everybody.
Alright, I know you wanted to get this house back, but perhaps we should just leave and have it demolished. Seems a bit cursed.
Flitz,
Yes.
you hear something behind you, like footsteps.
He turns.
Nothing there. And then you feel feels like lips getting really close to your ear, and they just say, "Flitz."
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. He's gonna close the cabinet, take the dagger. He's gonna walk like this, with the dagger facing out, and he's gonna. When he gets to the stairs, you're gonna hear because he's gonna run as fast as his little legs
so you all
can
hear
carry
Flitz
him.
just down the stairs.
Kid turning off his bedlight dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually you're running up the stairs.
When you're running
not
up the stairs.
And he gets to the base of the stairs and he kind of like looks over his shoulder. Keno, did you have your mom present? Is she around? She's a ghost, right? Can't really see her sometimes.
Not right now.
Yeah, I definitely heard some running. That wasn't me. And then I heard something say my name really close to my ear.
And
What
you
does it
see
do?
Dex's mom nods.
Oh,
It said your name?
Nods.
is it? Yeah, it did say my name as well. I guess.
It was more than one voice, though. I was gonna leave, but I heard something walking around. Gestures to the room you're all standing in.
Alright. You should get everyone out of here. That may or may not include you, Ricky. Seems as though we may need to do some type of exorcism or something. This is weird.
No, what we need to do is go to Hollyshire.
Why?
Wait, what? What? Why?
I've been a little cagey about this because he said if I talked about it, he would kill y'all. But just trust me, we need to go to Hollyshire.
Alright.
This is-
Okay.
What
This-
about what's happening here?
This
What's
is
happening
about what's
here?
happening here.
What is the ghost upstairs?
I'm pretty sure that the man is involved. And we just need to get everyone, all of us, Ricky, Marthel, out of here and go to Bastille, and then we need to hack to Hollyshire.
None of you probably would think Ven would mind if we doubled up moms and had them hang out. Is Dax? Do you think? I don't think Ven would mind if we kept them together.
Where's-
Mom,
She seems to be in a safe.
I don't want to be
place.
here.
do
Right.
you want to go where Father is on Remnant? Or
Where is he on Remnant?
we have a little house in the capital that the king.
When
built.
did he leave? Because he probably wouldn't be there by now. If
That's a good fucking
he left like
question.
3 days ago, he wouldn't be nowhere near close to there.
That's
Why
a
don't
bit,
we
yeah.
just-
I'll just go
could
to
we
the
just
temple. I'll
take
just go to
her?
the temple. No, I'm going. I'm gonna go to the temple. I don't want to be in here anymore. And she is. You can tell she's so
Do you want me to
terrified.
come with
she
you?
just leaves. She's so just rattled and scared. She's gone.
Okay.
Right. So, are we gonna deal with this, or are we leaving this here? This is your place, so
Based on the last time we were here, is there still magic in the basement?
You don't know.
Druk, help me open the basement doorway.
so we're doing this.
We have to.
All right.
What's
That
in
is-
the basement? What's in the basement?
I guess you're gonna find out.
Brace yourself, it's a little dark, figuratively and literally.
Wait, can we do this before Hollyshire? Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you and Druk can open the basement door. What's Flitz doing?
I just need
Flitz is gonna run his hands over his face, and as he does, his form shifts into almost a bluer scale little kobold.
What spell are you casting?
Disguise self.
How about you roll me a percentile dice? For your-
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no.
Quoin sees him trying to maybe shift into a kobold, and Quoin goes, "Oh, we switch. Okay." Gets in and pulls out the groin sharding mask.
Nice.
And starts putting that on. So
It's oh fuck! I forgot all this. 16.
16, that's a fail.
Yep.
Uh,
Well, another
Quoin is changing
D100.
into.
so roll another D100. Alright, it takes 10 minutes to
Forgot
don a
this.
disguise, so.
Oh, never mind then.
It's 58. What is that? Oh fuck!
You don't know that.
No.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay. But he does his hand over his face, and as he does, he's going to shift into like a light
Okay.
the same color as like his beard, Tuffet, and his hair. It's the like sky blue color scales.
You're technically touching this. You all watch as where Flitz is touching on the ground, like their feet, ignites and bursts into flame, and the floor starts to catch fire. Just.
He's gonna jump
that'll
back.
Work. Everyone get out. Don't put it out. Just go. Leave the building.
All right.
It's gonna like a panic. He's gonna like run out, just take the door and swing it open.
As you swing the door open, the door catches fire. You running through the grass of the front yard, and that's all catching flame. Just.
Flitz, what the fuck? Stop moving!
And then it stops.
He's gonna jump. Oh.
No.
The fire's still happening, but the grass outside gets put out by the heavy rainfall.
Oh, that's right. It's raining.
Yeah.
I will say he did use his to get off the ground because he thinks he's cursed. He's going to use one of his elemental gifts just to lift himself.
So we'll leave the burning house.
As everyone's leaving, I wanted to open up the trapdoor into the basement. Would you say the house is roughly a 20-foot area?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Erupting Earth centered on the basement and destroy any sigils that are on the ground.
Okay, so you look down into the basement first to do it. There are no chairs and nothing in the chairs. Those chairs that you saw through the clairvoyance are just not there.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm still gonna cast Erupting Earth, because whatever's there is fucked up.
So yeah, the basement is just demolished.
And then I'm gonna run out with everyone else.
Okay, as you're running out, you get this feeling that there's something behind you. Do you look?
I do look.
Okay. You can see a figure walking through the flames that appeared, and as they do, the flames snuff and go out. You don't get any. It's kind of like you're seeing a translucent figure. You don't see anything like detailed. And as the flames get snuffed, the door just slams.
Not my house. Not my house, you bastard. Anyway. Sorry.
Flitz, you're no longer lighting things on fire.
So he's like floating in the air, like just hovering just enough off the ground where his feet aren't touching, but he's kind of like hyperventilating a little bit. I don't. What was that? Do your things curse? What's?
Oh, it's fine. Here. And he'll take his hands and just like, it's going to be fine.
I don't know if I believe
you. Flitz,
see, I'm not getting burned. You're not burning anyone now.
We'll kind of settle to the ground. His little kobold form. I thought this was. I got a vision of I could change my form, and I thought it was gonna be cool to look like Quoin, and it just went. He's gonna plop on the wet earth.
Hey, Flitz. You're all right. Honestly, I was trying to figure out a way to catch that shithole on fire, so you did me a solid there.
Okay. All right. You're going to Hollyshire still?
Yeah, I think we need to.
I'm gonna let you know. It's been 50+ years since I've been there.
How old are you?
I'm 69 years old.
Nice.
Turning 70 next year. Well, it was my birthday apparently.
Which is young for a gnome.
Young, yeah. Technically still young. It's very, very young. When I came into my powers and was taken to the academy and all that, but it's there's a reason I haven't gone back. My family aren't really copacetic, if you will, because of I think I told you the name Tumblepots come from a distinct reasons that my family is full of bad luck, and there was a lot of hearsay of why I had powers and all that. So anyway, I don't know if they blame me or whatever, or they're mad at me. I don't know. I haven't really reached out in 50-something years.
So before we
Just let you
get
know.
there, before we travel there, should we expect trouble when we arrive on behalf of your history? Or what?
I don't think so. Not
What
for
was
me.
that? What
I
was
don't
that?
think so. Not for me.
Oh, okay.
Again, I don't know if they've. That's kind of why I decided to change my form. Maybe just don't call me Flitz or Tumblepots. Maybe just leave it be. I don't know.
Would you like us to call you a different name?
I don't know what.
We could call you Fritz instead.
Okay, that might be a little obvious.
Fritz the Kobold?
Or Zilf. Zilf.
Zilf. That works.
Sylph the Kobold, who's friends with
Oh,
Quoin.
Zephyr. You can call me Zephyr. I like that. Zephyr's better.
Ah.
But yeah, just leave it at that. If I feel comfortable when we get there to see my family, I'll let you know.
Hey, Ricky,
Mm-hmm.
ever been to Hollyshire?
Nope. If I'll
Uh,
save you some time, if you ask if have I been somewhere, and that place is not where I grew up or here or a place you've seen me be to, then the answer is no.
Do you want to come with us to Hollyshire? Or are you a little put off considering and Dax just gestures to the burning house at the moment?
I'm not entirely clear what happened.
It's not burning. The
for
flames
that.
got snuffed.
Correct. Just gestures to the general what the fuckness that transpired over the last 10 minutes.
I'm still not entirely sure what just happened. But if that's where you're going, I would like to, because I still haven't exactly figured out what's going on.
All right.
Hey, Ricky, I think a really cool idea for you is to maybe, you could document on paper, parchment, and ink what's happening with you and your personal experience with the Faust and the Furious, instead of just oratory.
Yeah. I suppose I could do that. Yeah.
You can have a first-hand encounter, and you could be the source of a lot of stories.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. That works.
Not to be rude, you can write, correct?
Oh yeah. I can.
Just didn't know what they teach you over there, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Question for everyone is there any shopping that we needed to do, any supplies that we need to pick up before we head out of town? Our first stop will be Bastille, so we might be able to get something there. But if we needed to get stuff here, now would be the time to do
Transfer
it.
via plane as opposed to you can get to Holy Showers Bastille.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Bastille was south for some reason.
It is.
It is,
but it's closer.
It's also the closest city to the only road that we've been to, because there's only one road to Hollyshire, and it's from the south to the north.
I did.
There's
the
no
math.
road through the. Yeah, there's no road through the western mountains, except for from.
There is no road through the Western Mountains.
Yeah. Baal's our fresh. Yeah. It's a long walk.
Wouldn't Giant's Cradle be a little closer?
It's
to
a
Hollyshire?
Giant's Cradle is an extra 30 miles
Yeah.
because the way the road goes. Like I said, I did the math.
Yeah.
I've done the math.
Right.
Yeah, it's
okay.
330 miles from Giant's Cradle to Hollyshire, and it's 300 from Bastille to Hollyshire.
Okay, sure. Right on.
We all good to head out?
I packed for a journey already, so I'm good. I've got water here. I've got a stick. I've got a hunting trap. I've got a bedroll. I brought rations. Yeah, I'm I'm all set. We got a rope.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna find the nearest large tree.
The closest one would be the one in your backyard.
I would like to find the second nearest large tree.
It would be like 100 yards away or something.
Yeah, that's fine. And take us to Bastille.
All right. And you're doing transport via plants?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you cast transport via plants. Everyone has 6 seconds to run into the tree.
Come on, Ricky!
Okay, run into the tree. All right. Oh, wait, yeah, no, I know what we're doing. Actually, he's familiar with this. This is how we got here. Yeah. And
as you all run into the tree, you end up in Bastille, where you have been before. This is where you did the Flesh House contract.
Mm-hmm.
And as you made aware, Bastille was also one of the sites those dragons hit. So Bastille is really not around anymore. It's all just a smold. It's all just.
It's like fully got demolished by dragons.
So you step out of a tree and into this destroyed town.
Oh.
Well, so much for shopping here.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, we heard that this happened while we were in Remnant,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Did you know, Ricky, that we entered a flesh house at the edge of town?
I did read about that one. That was one of the early ones.
Mm.
I had to like work my way back and find that one.
Yes. The culprit in the matter, they tried to poison themselves upon being found out. Yes.
I don't think that part was in there.
It was not in there, yeah. This is what I pulled out of their mouth.
And I'll hold up that, like,
The gusher?
extremely poisonous grim gusher.
Oh, wow, you still have... Do you keep, like, souvenirs from all your adventures?
This is a utility item. If you want someone dead, you get them to swallow this.
Okay.
So yes, I stole it off them, and it is a trophy. I could also use it.
This would probably be the time to set up the tower.
Right.
I will say, if you want to get to, as I messaged you.
Yeah, we could keep walking.
Yeah, if you do take a long rest, you might be late for what you want to go to Hollyshire for.
Yeah. No, you said we.
Oh,
if
right,
we leave
right,
today,
right.
we have an extra day, so we
Right.
can rest now. And get
Do you
there.
want to walk for a little bit, and then we can rest? We have.
It's still only like. It's
al-
only like 6.
It's also 15 days of travel, and I'm just not going to
Yeah.
cover all 15 days. It's just going to be, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's walk a bit.
Anything could happen on the road.
Yeah, so, I'm not going to do every day. I'm going to do it by
Mm-hmm.
a weekly basis, because it's 15 days. Who wants to roll for the first week of travel? And also, at this point, anyone can mark off a long rest, if you need it. Thank you.
I'll roll, I guess. What is it?
Just a D100, sorry.
D100.
For your first week
Oh,
of
I should
travel.
also- 16. I'm also gonna roll General Cathadium Crystal.
Right, you have to roll 7. Because it's a week.
I will keep track of
But
it.
you know what? Let's just do 1 for simplicity's sake.
Okay. The first one I rolled was a 30.
So that'll be the one. So roll me percentile dice.
Come on, fireball.
48.
48.
7 fireballs. For 7 brothers.
fireballs, and that's the end of the Faust and the Furious. What'd you say? Sorry, 48?
48.
The caster can only see in the dark.
I blindfold myself.
And that'll last for... roll me a d12.
I have too many dice.
Not possible.
8.
8. So for the next 8 hours, you can only see in the dark.
Alright, cool.
So as soon as it gets daylight, you're blind. But the 8 hours
Yeah.
would be nighttime, so you don't really notice it.
Yeah.
Would it be? Is it like? Is it almost like one of those things where you like invert the colors, where
Yeah.
like everything light
Yeah.
becomes dark and everything dark becomes
But
light?
it's also at the point where they're not going to notice it because of
right.
how it works, because they just can't see. Anyways,
So weird to look at.
you
Like,
have 2 out of
you
5. You have 2 out of 5 symptoms.
I just need really dark shades.
2 out of 5
Oh, yeah.
symptoms, and the encounter, or the what happens today. You come across a crate on the side of the road. It looks like it fell off a wagon. It's been broken open, and I need somebody to roll me a d4. Sorry, d6. D6.
All right, I'll do it. A 5.
Inside are 5 potions of healing. Looks like they're transporting something, and it fell off of a wagon into just off the side of the road into a ditch. And inside are 5 standard potions of healing.
Can we put together the box that was broken to see if there was an insignia to see?
Just a basic box. No insignias or anything on it.
No, it's like no way to tell where
Nope.
the property came from.
Nope.
Okay.
And it looks like
No
it's been
also
here.
ran logo.
It also looks like it's been here a while.
Nobody stole these?
No, it looks like it fell off during shipping.
Oh, okay.
It also we're coming away from a recent dragon attack area,
Yeah,
so
so this
like
place is pretty.
travel might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So where are we keeping these? You got 5 potions here.
We can keep them in the bag of holding or split them up.
Bag of holding seems to make most.
It is an action to retrieve them from the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah, I would.
split them up.
Yeah. I'll take one.
All right.
Ricky, you could have mine.
Okay, thank you. You think I'll need it?
You
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be careful on the safe side. Justin, just for your knowledge, the first night so each night, Flitz goes into his bottle and sleeps there. First night he had a couple nightmares, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah. And the following night after that, during this trip, he is going to be, each night, he's going to be drawing as best as he can. He's going to be drawing and he's going to be writing poetry.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's going to keep a little book underneath his bed. in there.
Sounds good. All right. So that'll bring us into our second week of travel.
Oh, he will also he will commune.
Oh,
with the
fuck!
Contact. That's a thing.
I was just about to fucking.
Nope. The next time that he needs to commune, he will do that
Okay.
night.
All right. So the next date you'll have to do it is when you arrive in Hollyshire.
Okay, the next time that I'll have to commune.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, he'll cast contact other plane to speak with.
Yep.
Whoever gave him this.
Sure. All right.
Do we want to?
Quickly.
move
Quickly.
past that?
Quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, quickly.
Oh God. Gosh, he would keep it really brief. He would ask very generic questions.
Yep. Yes. No.
Um,
Maybe. Never. Answers irrelevant. Unclear are the answers you're allowed to give.
Right. He doesn't like doing this really. It makes him a little uncomfortable. So he's essentially, is your favorite color red? Is your favorite color orange? He knows the favorite color, but he's just trying to speed past it. It
Okay.
does make him a little
So all the
queasy
questions are just, what's
to-
your favorite color?
He's gonna go through each color.
Okay.
Is your favorite color red? Is your
Alright.
favorite color blue, green, all the fun stuff? He'll essentially do all 5.
Yeah. One word responses.
Yeah, it's all just like a.
Okay. For the next week of travel, someone else roll me a D100.
Ricky.
Actually, I forgot. Did you write down what his favorite color was?
I think it did.
Yeah. Roll that
it's like
roll that D100, Ricky.
71.
So you're all walking. There's like the ground shakes with like impact tremors. And you just see a walking tree just stroll out of the forest and cross the path. Ricky, you're used to tree ants. They guard Arjun.
Oh yeah.
So it just keeps going.
Hello, good friend.
What do tree ants speak? As I pull that up.
Sylvan, probably?
Yeah.
Common, Druidic, Elvish, Sylvan.
No, he'd say it in Elven.
Oh, so he says it in Elvish then. Hello. And then just keeps going. Alright.
I rolled a 19 for the Cathadian sickness.
Oh, roll again. D100. That's
39.
That's 3 of 5 symptoms before you get indefinite symptoms again.
Yep.
Alright, so, and this might matter because once we come back from break. So you get a 39.
Yes.
You can only, roll me a d12.
Another 8.
You can only speak in animal noises for the next 8 hours. Thankfully, Flitz can understand you.
Oh.
But,
He's gonna walk her through speaking in like mouse or
so for the next 8 hours while you're in Hollyshire, because you arrive, but you'd be arriving. So yeah, the walk leads you up through the mountains where it starts to get bitter cold. As you enter the Frostshard mountain range, it gets again very cold. The winds are also pretty gnarly, like they're exceptionally strong up in this region, which is strange. Doesn't make much sense how strong these winds are. It's a little unnatural with their, force. But eventually, after about 2 weeks of travel, 15 days, you come to a small village that is decorated constantly with blinking lights. There's snow everywhere, trees adorned in baubles, and it's nestled just at the peak. Nestled near the peak of these mountain range, and it's surrounded by a dense pine forest and deep snow. Basically, it's a town that celebrates Christmas year-round.
If both you and Sam will forgive me, 15 days on the road with a new person, Ricky. What do we learn about him?
Oh, yeah.
And like how he travels, and like maybe some little tidbits of information that he might give out while we're traveling and talking around campfires and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, because 15 days is more time than has passed in like the past 10 sessions or something.
Yeah, it's been like a day.
Yeah, hey, that's Ricky just became a significantly, like, in terms of the tenure of how much time
he's
spent
been here
together.
as long as Flitz has now.
Oh God, that's right. Because Flitz has only been there like 2 days. Right?
Yeah, 2 days before you.
We went 2 weeks without having to fight a moon. We did a good one, guys. This is a boring 2 weeks for us.
It was a very boring 2 weeks.
Justin, were you about to go to break?
Yes, you can do that, but then we'll go to break.
I'll think about it when we come back for the break.
Okay,
Perfect.
cool.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. So yeah, as you all arrive in this town, covered in like trees with like blinking ethereal lights, baubles hanging from the trees. This town celebrates the holiday season of Wynocton year-round. So there's usually people Flitz. There's usually people wandering around handing out gifts to everybody every day, but these winds are so like treacherous that no one's coming outside. They're just staying indoors the entire time. And if you want to know more about Hollyshire, check out our one-shot from a few years ago. But yeah, you all arrive in this wintry season town. The wind is blustering. It's very strong wind. Sometimes you can feel yourself being pushed by the wind a little bit. And as you arrive in Hollyshire, it appears to be a stagecoach waiting for you. And that's where we're going to go to break.
Oh, Ricky.
So we'll come back for break in 10 minutes, learn some stuff about Ricky, and then onwards to what Kenna was invited to. So 10 minutes, everybody. See you then.
Remember, his name is Zephyr now.
Yes. Alright, we're back. Having arrived in the constantly wintry, celebratory town of Hollyshire. But first, what would we have learned about Ricky in the 15 days of travel?
In the 15 days of travel, they would have learned that Ricky is an utterly normal person for the town of Argent. Still grew up in a commune, a nudist commune run by Druids.
Mhm.
Yeah, like 2 alive parents that live there that are like part of the community. He has a good relationship with them. All of his stories are just like normal stories about just like, and then we went on a hike and we left Argent, we went on a hike and we saw a moose. It was crazy.
Biggest damn moose you ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, imagine a normal, regular person talking about their life. That's what you get. He's a 19-year-old kid who grew up in a hippie nudist commune, hippie nudist vegan commune, and really never left like the vicinity of Argent.
And moose are dangerous, so I mean...
Yeah.
I imagine Ricky and Kenna share some jokes that are only funny in Druidic.
Oh, he
And,
doesn't
like,
speak Druidic.
Oh, you don't speak Druidic? Oh, never
He's not a
mind.
Druid.
What's the point of growing up in a Druid commune and not learning Druidic?
You need to be a Druid to learn. They don't teach that to just everybody. We're a cult. You need to. There needs to be like upper echelons.
There's levels to this.
So I'm
Yeah,
like
I
a
will say-
noble to Ricky. Okay.
Well,
Flitz
no, I
would
mean-
ask Ricky specifically regarding how he discovered his abilities, because it was, I just had these 5 days ago. It wasn't what pinnacle moment in those
What were
5
you
days.
doing?
Yeah.
It was kind of just like he'll describe it was just kind of like he woke up one day and he just felt incredible. And
Yeah, he talked about that. Yeah,
like
okay.
he felt like he was just like lighter, and it's the feeling of like those people
Me
when
when
they're,
I
like,
went on
up-
my antidepressants.
You know those people like when you go up on like wires for like making an action movie, like wire fighting wires. It was like life felt like he had like one of those up. He could just like do cartwheels and like handstands, and just like it felt like he was working with moon gravity all of a sudden.
If we're
Nice.
talking movies, did he also wake up like Tobey Maguire in the first Spider-Man movie and just like, okay,
Yeah.
I can see clearly. I don't need these
Yeah,
weird glasses.
Ricky used to wear glasses, but then he woke up one day and he had to do this because he didn't need
Does
them
he have
anymore.
like a raccoon tan line from his glasses? Or
Okay.
did he spend most of his days in the trees?
It actually probably does have like a little raccoon tan line around his eyes.
Mm.
Nice.
So it was just like an epiphany moment. It wasn't like
Yeah.
there was no major moment of like, I had to lift a car off of my ailing grandmother or something. It was just
Nope.
that, okay.
Everything was
Now I'm
totally normal.
super
He was the weird
fast
part.
and
He's just a
The
normal...
most
Ricky is just,
I can probably
uninteresting
fight a moose now and
adventurer.
win.
Ricky is just
Okay.
a normal, everyday person.
Just
Yep.
normal guy.
Yeah,
He's
I think
just
Yeah,
there
and
would
he
be
was like-
moments where Flitz would throw, because he has ball bearings, he would tell Ricky to go stand a little bit further away, and he would start throwing them at like different points to see, essentially
Oh,
doing your reaction, like, yeah.
Not even.
But he would do it
looking,
from
he's
like the
touching.
back. He would tell you to
Yeah,
turn backwards, so it's more like okay. That would be Flitz. Flitz is fun with that.
If Quoin came across him doing that, like, I get it. Also, just start throwing like copper pieces as well.
He throws
at
daggers.
The same. Oh,
If you
Maybe
could
not
dodge a dagger,
daggers.
you could dodge a ball.
Dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. You
But,
can dodge an RPG or Jesus.
But yeah, that's effectively what you learn about Ricky, an ordinary, everyday person who woke up with these abilities
Mm-hmm.
with no reason as to why, or answer as
No
to
com-
why. Yeah, those are the 15 days basically, is just asking Ricky things, then learning, there actually isn't a lot to figure out. Throwing
I mean, there's
things
stuff to
at
figure
him.
out, but
Yeah.
he also is in the dark
Yeah,
about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Throwing things at Ricky to test his reflexes, and eventually, you get to Hollyshire, and there is that stagecoach weirdly waiting for you.
I'm gonna knock on. Is there like a driver outside of the stagecoach, like holding the reins?
Yeah, there's like a just a ordinary humanoid-looking human. Humanoid-looking human. A human dressed in just simple clothes. Big, like, kind of like... They're dressed like you would expect to see in, like, a Dickensian kind of Christmas story kind of thing.
Okay.
They're dressed like that, and pulling the stagecoach is actually a big old caribou. A reindeer, essentially.
Excuse me. Do you work for Richmond Springs?
Yes.
Were you waiting for us?
I was told I had to wait for someone called Kenna Peshan and take them to the manor.
Do you have room for all 6 of us? We're kind of, like a package deal.
Of course.
All right, guys, this is our ride.
Sorry, Justin. Just to be sure, the next commune is tonight, right?
Yeah, by tonight.
Cool. Okay.
By midnight.
Okay.
Since we're in Hollyshire, I think Quoin would probably have tried to figure out about that ring.
Okay, yeah, you would have been able to attune to it and stuff. It's just a ring of warmth.
Oh, it's an attunement spot?
I think so.
Yeah, because it gives you cold
Ooh.
resistance, and it keeps you a perfectly
Warm.
comfortable temperature.
If I've got the...
I mean, we had 15 days if you wanted
Yeah.
to attune to it and be like, oh, it's not that great.
Yeah, it's 15 days. There's time to mess
Didn't
around
wanna
with stuff.
attune it.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately, I already... Like, my slots are full.
Yeah.
Alright.
But I'll keep it. It's nice. It's so sweet. So kind.
Speaking of, I completely forgot about this until now, but the bone armor, is anyone using that?
No.
I thought you had it already.
Yeah, I did.
No.
That was all,
Yeah,
that was all
Ken already had it.
Oh, did I just not equip it?
Correct.
Probably.
Bone armor's ready.
Bone armor.
So,
Speaking of Spider-Man.
So, yeah, he's like, yes, I have room for everyone.
I will sit up top.
No, that's alright. You are meant for the back. There's been refreshments and everything prepared. I don't know you, so I'd rather just sit up here by myself.
I do not know you, so I'd rather not be driven alone.
You will not be driven alone. You'll have all your friends with you.
Without knowing where we are going. Is it just
You're
me?
going to
Is
the
everyone else
manor.
cool?
Kenna was invited. They probably would have told you all the details, yes?
I think if I wouldn't have said anything, but I would have showed them Richmond's letter, because I'm very careful about what I
which
say.
you did a few sessions
Yeah.
ago already, which has already happened, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just Kenna got invited to meet their brother cousins, and there was a whole like joking good chunk of time making fun of brother cousins.
Oh, that's right. My brother cousin.
I remember that. I just...
But if you want
Sure.
to sit up here, are you
Cool.
good at steering vehicles? Are you good with land vehicles in case things happen?
I'm cool.
All right. You
I
may
mean,
sit-
if Kenna's cool, I'm cool.
you can sit up here if you'd like.
We don't need to
It's just-
discuss this anymore. If Kenna's cool, I'm cool. Kenna, you cool?
I'm cold, but I'm also cool.
Yeah, it's really
Right
cold
on.
here.
You get used to it.
Then... Alright. Cool.
All right. So the back of the stagecoach has 2 bench seats that flank each other, room for 3 people per seat. And in between both seats is this little kind of table that's got a little ice bucket with a bottle of champagne in it. This weird kind of contraption that's built into the table, kind of like the hot cocoa dispenser from the Santa Claus movie. And it's got like the little mugs, the metal kind of goblets for hot cocoa, and that's what's inside the interior. Some nice, like, warm seating. It's also like pretty comfortably warm inside the stagecoach. It feels like it's a a significant increase in warmth going from outside to the inside of this stagecoach.
This is gonna like saddle up and make himself a little mug of hot chocolate.
Okay, as you're making the hot chocolate, the machine goes.
What would you like in your hot cocoa?
Chocolate and marshmallows, thank you.
All right.
And it kind of looks like it makes like a spitting noise, and you can see marshmallows getting spat into your not actually like there's but just like it's kind of just the sound of like these little marshmallows getting launched into your hot cocoa.
Nice.
Quoin's probably right behind them. Yeah.
This probably looks really weird because he has to like bring the mug into his disguised kobold mouth to actually get to his gnome mouth, so he's like going a little too
The
far.
machine just basically asks one by one.
What would you like in your hot cocoa? Flavor, garnishes.
Just the hot chocolate plus peppermint would be great.
Sounds good.
And yours is just it's a peppermint smelling. It's like an after 8 hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds great.
Just pepperminty and delicious.
Whatever you request, I can make it.
It sounds like the
Chocolate.
Okay, we get chocolate.
so you just get chocolate. Like someone just melted chocolate. Which is what hot chocolate used to be, with milk and stuff. So that's any requests for Dax, Druck, and Ken on their hot chocolate, or not partaking?
I am not partaking. I'm too tense.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Drug is
I can,
taking it
Okay.
easy on that front.
I can flavor it however you like. Whatever flavor you wish, I can make your hot chocolate taste like it. That's what I've been enchanted to do, so if you want it to taste like beef, I can make it taste like beef.
Beef.
Dax asks for hot chocolate with like a hint of pine.
Interesting.
Starbucks used to have this like pine like mocha. It was fucking delicious.
That's what you get.
Fuck yeah!
All right. So
It's the second most Canadian thing you've said all night.
Would you like me to play music on your trip?
Do you know Bahamut the Amazing?
No, I have one programmed song. Would you like music on your trip?
Yes.
Beep, ba-da, beep, beep, ba-da, ba-da,
Dax is just looking at Flitz as they say that. Just to
it's
see her
definitely
reaction.
whatever this weird like talking voice is in the machine is just going.
ah,
And that's what you hear for the next 10 minutes in the stagecoach. And
Would you like me to part the curtains so you can stay outside?
Sure.
curtains magically part. And you can see sequestered away in a small forest of pines, you see a large 2-story manor house of gray stone and an elegant shingled green roof. The front yard of the property, and you notice you're also out of Hollyshire now. You kind of just went north of Hollyshire and just Hollyshire's not that big. Anyways, big manor, shingled gray roof. The front yard of the property is covered in topiary animals and a small water fountain that is currently frozen with benches surrounding it. Large arched glass windows look out into the forest, and the large red curtains covering these windows are currently closed. Drawn? I think drawn's the term.
I have a question. Would Flitz know anything about Richmond Springs?
We did that before, a while ago, and it was determined that no.
No, that's
When
right.
you- when you rolled
that's
for
right.
it,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, I forgot that he
Um,
was the one that.
yep.
You're right. You're right.
A stable rests beside the manor, and inside you can't hear anything now because you're in the carriage, but you can imagine what you can hear. Horses. As you get closer, you see the front doors of the manor open, and a drow steps out. Can't really make out fine details right now, but the character's like,
You may now depart. Here's
I step out.
Here's complimentary snacks.
and it just starts like spitting out little like mint chocolates.
Catching those projectiles.
Yeah.
I imagine I just step out of the carriage with a very strange sense of deja vu.
So as soon as you step out of the carriage, it's going from a very warm environment to bitter cold again, and it's that wind. The wind is just constantly.
Yeah. Would you say it's almost a blizzard?
There's not enough. There's not enough snowfall to be a blizzard. It's just really windy and cold. And then as you're all like stepping out of the stagecoach, the hot chocolate machine just goes,
Thanks for riding.
Thanks, little machine.
You're welcome.
I think we should get one of those for our new spa.
I'm one of a kind.
And as the stagecoach pulls away, you see this drow step out of the front doors of the manor, combed back white hair, beady red eyes, wearing an elegant black suit complete with a white ascot. They also appear to be holding a purple parasol, which seems to be for the constant snowfall, but it's also not going so well because of the wind. And you all can approach the steps where he's standing and goes, May I see your invitations?
I mean, we got the one, and I hand over my letter.
He like looks at it, pulls up a pair of pince-nez glasses, starts reading it. This way. And turns on the spot and opens the doors.
Is that what I'm supposed to do with these?
I mean, you use them to see better. That's what they're for.
Well,
If it
not
helps
sure I
you
can
read.
get this. Oh, right. Yes.
The drow ushers you all inside to a grand foyer flanked by 10-foot-tall gold statues of bears and numerous hanging portraits of a noble-looking woman and her son, with each portrait showing the son getting older and older, and eventually the woman disappearing from the portraits, so it's just him. The drow leads you over to a large walk-in closet to the right of the staircase, or to the right of the entrance, and you can see a few traveling cloaks have been hung up, as well as a series of chests that are locked with people's names on them. And you recognize the name Kenna on one of the chests. And the drow says, Please hang up any clothes you wish to hang up to dry, and please place any weapons you have on your person into the chest. Master Richmond isn't too fond of people openly carrying weapons around his home after his mother died. I'm sure you understand.
Of course.
2 daggers are gonna
And
be
he stands there the entire... He's standing just watching.
He's watching us.
Yeah, to make sure all the weapons are placed in the chest.
Oh, placed into
The chest that
another
has Kenna marked on it. Again, my master doesn't want weapons in his home. After his mother died.
It's fine. All right.
If anyone wants, you can attempt to conceal a weapon if you'd like, but it would have to be something small.
Yeah.
I would like to try to conceal my Cathadium crystal.
That's not a weapon.
That's not great. Never mind.
You said weapons.
Okay, weapons. Great.
Should I put my hands in the box as well? They are registered as deadly weapons.
If you want to be smart, you can wait outside.
Yeah, or maybe just...
Okay, I guess this is also no one has fun. This is on me. Am I the bad man now? Just trying to have some fun. All right. Okay.
I
so
thought it was funny.
Yeah, he just kind of disappointedly puts his hands in his pockets. Right. Sorry.
This way.
Does the person in the portrait look like Kenna?
There is a vague resemblance. Eye color, some facial features are eerily.
Does Kenna's beard
familiar.
and their beard match?
Sort of, yeah. Sort of. Yeah.
I might just have more.
The guy in the portrait does have a beard. It's black, but it's the same kind of shape and
like
kinda-
same growth pattern.
yeah.
Cool.
Asking the real question.
The eyes,
Wow.
but yeah, Flitz. Eyes are the same color. The facial features are all the. It's. There is a resemblance. Good asking. He leads you through the double doors at the opposite end of the grand foyer, and down a corridor of more hanging portraits of this gentleman, and dimly lit sconces on the wall. He opens the first door on the left, and you find yourselves in a lounge. A crackling fireplace sits against the wall, flanked by large windows, and surrounding the fire are a series of red suede sofas. The walls are covered in bookshelves filled with a large collection of books, and hanging from the walls are animal trophies, mostly wild game that roam this region, like bears, deer, elk, moose, etc. Standing near the fireplace and deep in conversation are about 4 people. There's a dwarf woman with orange hair tied into a bun, a heavily freckled face, and wearing an elegant blue gown. She seems to be speaking to an auburn-colored tiefling with small, elegant antlers instead of horns, and wearing a deep green velvet tunic. The pair are deep in conversation and sipping on red wine. Sat near one of the bookshelves, poring over a thick lavender-colored tome, is another dwarf with luxurious blonde curls and a pointed goatee. He's wearing a peach-colored velvet doublet and sipping on a small tumbler glass filled with an amber-colored liquid. And finally, examining the mounted heads on the wall, is a tall, slender, light blue sea elf man adorned in a turquoise-colored suit and wearing a maroon-colored bolo tie. He has shoulder-length dark green hair and is wearing a necklace of small clamshells. And as you are brought into the lounge, the individuals turn to you all. Introducing Peshan and their associates. What are their names?
Faust and
You
the-
were supposed to respond to Richmond's letter with who was coming.
Sorry, I didn't know that was implied. This is Zephyr, Quoin, Druck, Dax, and Ricky. We are the Faust and the Furious.
The master shall be joining you momentarily. Help yourselves to drink, but try to keep some composure. He bows and exits the room, closing the doors behind him. And almost immediately, the dwarf and tiefling woman that were talking near the fireplace approach with smiles on their faces towards Kenna. Kenna Peshan! You must be our other half-sibling, the dwarf says, excited. And you can see the same family resemblance in the dwarf's face. And then the auburn-colored tiefling, you can see the same familial resemblance in the face. I'm Jalessa Horngrove of Bastille, and this is Kaelin Varys of Redbook. The dwarf, sorry. I'm Jalessa Horngrove, and then the dwarf gestures to the tiefling, and this is Kaelin Varys of Redbrook. And the tiefling smiles and nods.
Do you mind putting those names in the chat for me?
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I thought I gave them to you before, but yeah, I'll do it again.
It was a long time ago.
Okay. And then...
Ducks. Hey, ducks.
I'll kind of lean over.
What do you think is going on here? Seems like, maybe Kenna's dad got around.
It's a good old family reunion.
Over there, reading the book is my brother Dorian. He's a bit of an ass, and I had to bribe him with coin to accompany me. And the dwarf who, with the blonde hair and the goatee, just raises his glass in acknowledgement, but doesn't avert his gaze. And then the tiefling gestures towards the sea elf, perusing the trophies. That's my husband, Arlo. He's not too fond of not being close to water, so I'm actually quite glad he came. And the sea elf approaches you all, It's a pleasure to meet you all. And he goes to shake each of your hands.
Pleasure. Quoin, get my fancy hat. Please.
Yeah, you're all very underdressed for this occasion.
I pull out just my top hat from our fancy dress.
Ah, yes.
Piece. Just my top hat. Yeah, it's we've been traveling all day, so we didn't really have a chance to dress up for the occasion.
The CEO's like, yeah, I don't know why we had to dress up, really. All I know is it's a feast in our honor, sort of like to get the siblings together to meet for the first time. At least that's what my wife said.
Quoin is taking up kind of a bodyguard stance.
Sure.
On Kenna's hip, like sort of a just kind of not like no one's doing anything bad or wrong, but just at the ready, kind of just feeling the vibe, like doing
doing a vibe check.
All right.
Doing ocular pat downs.
All right. If
everyone.
if everyone's doing an insight check, there's no point in rolling for them because all these people are in the same situation as you. You can easily determine that.
Yeah, and
cool.
just
That's great.
you know, button. Who's got the button?
No need to roll.
Kind
for
of.
it. Yep.
But just really like making sure.
Yeah.
That if anybody does come,
everything.
If anyone was successful at hiding a blade.
No, everything in here seems pretty. Like these people. Oh, okay. No weapons. That makes sense. Person doesn't want weapons in their home.
No blades, no bows.
Nope.
Leave your weapons here.
Do they look like they have any class levels, or are they like?
They look
regular
like
people?
they're commoners. Well,
Okay.
More, but dressed fancy for the occasion.
Okay.
Flitz is gonna just start wandering.
Was that a soft amount of elitism from
No,
Ken
it was
Peshan?
like character levels like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like is anyone a freaking sorcerer?
You would actually probably take a pretty good assumption that your half siblings or whoever are probably druids, much like yourself.
Okay.
But where in the caste system do they fall?
But
that's what we want to know.
Flitz, you said you're wandering around.
Yep.
You can see on near the fireplace there's a bunch of decanters filled with alcohol. You can see a wine, a white wine, a red wine, and what looks like scotch.
It's gonna look around, see what other people are drinking. Is it like it's spread, or do some seem more inclined to one?
The dwarf who was reading the book and not paying attention to anybody, really, he's drinking an amber-colored liquid, which you can assume is the scotch. Everybody else is drinking red wine.
Wow, no more lord.
He will go for
no my lord.
The scotch.
Okay.
Because the dwarf seems cool, and when he pours himself it's a polite pour of scotch, but he'll kind of like wander toward, and he's gonna casually take his hand and like flick it over his face and do the disguise self where his attire seems a little bit nicer.
Cool. Roll a d100.
Oh fuck, that's so true. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I forget that that's a thing.
Fireball.
Oh my god, I promise I didn't even.
Fireball.
Honestly, I want it to be like you just like crushed a stink pellet or
Just like a
something.
27. I
okay.
failed.
So like you just ripped a nasty.
Just
pellet.
for let's see.
trying to be like super cool, but then go no.
Okay.
Deadly.
This doesn't really matter. For the next minute, all your spells will be casting time
Oh,
of one
no,
action.
no.
I rolled a
27
and
was
then
the
rolled
fail.
an 84, which
84,
is every
sorry,
creature in
sorry.
30 feet. Every creature in 30 feet of me takes 1d10 necrotic
Sounds
damage.
good.
And I regain hit points equal to the sum of the necrotic dealt.
So they all take.
Sorry.
Okay, so they all take 9 necrotic damage.
Hey, so that's all of us.
So
Alright.
everyone takes 9 necrotic damage, and
Wow.
I'm gonna pull up commoner hit
Just
points.
kill everyone.
I think commoners have like 9 hit points.
Let me
I
pull
think
it
they
up.
have 4 hit points.
4, yeah, sorry.
Oh, so all the commoners, everyone in this room aside from the Faust and the Furious are dead. Just that's more than double their max hit points. So all the people aside from the Faust and the Furious are dead. Just all right. The siblings would still be alive, but the people the siblings brought would die because that's 9 necrotic damage. Their max hit points are 4. 8 would be the total that would kill them. Needed to kill them. It took 9, so everybody but Kenneth's half siblings suddenly just die. Just.
Let's just murdered a room full of people.
But Flitz has no idea that it's fucking him.
No.
That's the issue.
So it's just.
Oh.
So how many
It's-
people are in there? It's Jalissa's brother and husband. Does
Oh my God.
Kaylin have any siblings or relations that she brought with them?
There were 4 people in here. 2 died.
All right, so I'm gonna immediately cast Resurrection
That takes an hour.
on. No, Revivify.
Sorry, you start. Yeah, you cast. You start casting Revivify, and I'll start throwing some lay on hands into.
Yeah.
Okay, so you cast
The other
Revivify.
people.
Are you doing it for both people that died?
Yeah.
Okay, so mark off both diamonds that you
Yeah.
need for that. And the spell
Ven
slots.
had a diamond
600?
supply that. Yeah.
600.
Yeah. I had 3 diamonds on me.
Okay, so that happens.
Yeah.
Just burst of
Alright.
necrotic energy out of Flitz.
So you said 4 per person to the other people, the siblings.
No, everyone takes 9.
Then the siblings were dead, or are
No,
they
the siblings
healed
have
back up?
have class levels because they're druids, so they're
Yeah.
still
Okay.
alive. The people that they brought
They
died.
survived.
Are my
So-
siblings also resistant to necrotic?
No, because
Or no, they're different
we'll
races.
get to it. We'll get to it. But yes, the people that they brought die. So the husband and the brother die.
Not the brother husband.
Then you bring them back with Revivify, and it's just sort of like you all see this. So yeah, when Flitz did that, you saw this like necrotic burst go. Poof.
So Quoin
Ow.
would be touching people to be like, "Yeah, what was that? That is wild!" Like, and just start like healing people back up.
if- Okay.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Flitz is just like frozen.
I need everyone to make.
Does it?
Okay. So that happens.
So
While they're
that's-
like reviving and healing people, Ricky is just saying that it's like, ow! Also, what? What?
All right, so then 9 are going into Ricky as well. So it's Ricky and the 2 siblings who are getting the 9 as Kenna resurrects the other 2.
Yeah, with Revivify.
So that's 27.
Okay, it's from commoners have, like I said, commoners have 4 hit points, so they're brought back with that much. But yeah, okay.
They would need 3 more each.
So,
So the
regardless,
siblings are back to
I'm not gonna do all
full,
I'm not gonna do all the minutiae about it. Otherwise, I'm gonna pull my hair out. So everyone's fine. After the
What was that?
What was that?
No.
I mean, I guess we roll perception. so it's him,
you
or
saw
do
it come
just
from
not know?
Flitz because it's a. Let me see the wording on that from the wild magic table. Oh, there is no burst. They just take necrotic damage. So there isn't actually like a visible effect.
Yeah.
So Flitz doesn't even know what happened. No one knows what happened. It feels like a necrotic. Like it just feels like everyone. You know what?
Oh.
One
no.
of the guys drinking the scotch is like, oh, maybe the alcohol is a little off.
They just
Yeah.
wait.
Also going to then, if
Hey, I'm
it's
drinking.
suspicious, also going to. I've healed the 2 siblings.
Yeah, everyone's fine.
Ricky.
Everyone's fine.
There's a limit to it, and then Kenna. Probably Flitz then.
Just for this situation, because it's gonna get annoying to like kind of figure out who's fine and who's not. I was gonna say everyone's fine. Everyone gets the 9 hit points back, just because
Okay.
that's a lot to
What?
figure out.
Telepathically to Kenna, because I still have that. They
oh,
just go.
yeah, you would. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the.
No, yeah,
my
that's
heart.
right. You do.
Yeah. Telepathically to Kenna, they just go, you know, the last time we were at a feast, everybody died after, not before the meal.
No, that was the first time everybody was at a feast.
And as that happens and things kind of get like, it looks like things are getting a little like people are starting to like look at each other with like sideways glances. You watch as a lot of the guests just kind of go slack-jawed for a second and then back to normal. And I need everyone else to make wisdom saves.
Are we within 10 feet of
close
Quoin?
enough to Quoin?
It's a big room, so it's up to y'all. But if Quoin is healing everybody, it's gonna depend who Quoin heals last.
In the order that I said, probably. Gosh, I guess.
Fuck it.
probably
Everyone has
Flitz
everyone has
Flitz
plus
or
1.
Kenna.
I don't want to do all the minis. Hey, everyone's got
Is
plus
this is a magical effect or a spell, right?
one. It's magical.
All right, that gives me advantage.
Does it count as? Is it anything to do with the charmed condition?
Yeah, you have advantage.
Okay.
Nice. Good work. Advantage +1.
Dirty 30.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
25.
22.
Okay. Wow.
20.
Okay, Druk.
12.
Uh-oh.
Everyone remembers that weird whatever just occurred, except for Druk.
So where are they bringing out the food, huh?
At this point, because I don't want to, it's just gotta, you know. So after that happens, and
So sorry.
everyone's brought back to life, and that all happens, the doors of the lounge open once more, and stepping into the room is the drow, and with him is a human man adorned in what can only be described as dark gray silks that exude decadence and wealth, and it's the man from the portraits. Tan skin, same color eyes as Jalessa, Kaelin, and even Kenna. Black hair combed into a type of side part. Doesn't have a full beard right now, chin of stubble. I'm so glad each of you made it. I pray the trip wasn't too harrowing.
It was surprisingly boring for me and my party.
Also, Quoin would take a half step, not intrusively, but half step towards them to put themselves between Kenna and this.
He seems to clock it. But he doesn't like do anything. Just looks and goes.
Yeah, and not really particularly threatening. But
Yeah,
just
no. Everyone else shakes their head, like they all just because how the fuck am I gonna get past that? Excellent. Well, I'm sure most of you know why you've been gathered here. The letters explained everything.
Yeah.
Jalessa, Kaelin, Ken, and I are all siblings. Well, half siblings.
Yeah. Speaking of that, have y'all heard anything from dear old Dad in recent days?
Who's our father?
Oh, you don't know.
Anyways, he pours himself a goblet of. No, we just know that we're. No.
Good. It's probably best to keep it that way, actually.
I
Thinking about it.
I was taught in the power of dreams, and in these dreams, I saw my half-siblings, gestures to the three, and decided to invite you all here to get to know one another for drinks, food, and merriment. Oh, and I'm glad you brought people as well. The more people, the better the party. And he turns to the drow and says, I assume dinner is prepared. The drow nods and begins to lead each of you towards a large dining room. The table itself is around 30 feet long and made of well-crafted oak, and sat around the table are 12 high-backed dark oak chairs with violet-colored velvet upholstery. In front of each chair on the table is a sealed envelope with a name on it. Near the head of the table where Bridgman takes his place lies envelopes addressed to Kenna, Jalessa, and Kaelin. The rest of you can find envelopes at specific seats at the table, your spots pre-arranged.
Ooh.
With the names that Kenna gave to the drow on them.
Is mine spelled R-I-C-K-I or R-I-C-K-Y?
Let me roll for it.
Okay.
Yes.
It's Quoin spelled
that's not-
C-I-O-I-N.
No, Quoin is spelled correctly.
Okay.
A golden chandelier hangs from the ceiling, and the walls of this room are dark paneled oak. Large windows sit on the wall, and the curtains are opened, revealing a massive hedge maze outside, more fountains, and an elegant-looking greenhouse. A fireplace crackles in this room as well, and you can see everyone that's been gathered starts to take seats where they're designated at the table.
Agree, Sam. Agree.
Take your seats. It's going to be a good dinner, I hope.
Is Quoin seated next to Kenna?
No.
Is it cool if Quoin switches out place seats?
There is prearranged seating in these kind of events. That would be frowned upon.
I was just gonna take the placemat and switch it, but if that's a real big stinker, then I guess maybe not. But I would try it.
Okay, as you
And
go to,
if I
as you
keep
go to-
getting if I
as
keep
you-
getting
as you go to try it, he's like, "Oh, it's prearranged seating. I'd like to sit near my siblings. I haven't met them, and I'd like to talk to them." So the seating is as follows.
Cool.
When it's all right.
We're gonna see who's sitting beside who. Flitz is sitting beside Ricky. Quoin is sitting beside Dax.
Dope. That sounds right. Team
And that'd
top.
be Druck.
He's
Just-
not sitting.
Druck is crouching in the center of the table.
Please sit.
Just deucing.
Oh no,
Uh,
Druck got kids tabled.
No,
Yeah.
Druck's
Drug
at
our kids' table. He's
there's-
off in the
no,
corner, like
there-
at the
no,
entree.
no,
Sorry, we
no.
got you.
There is a
Go
solid.
He was bigger than the table.
There is a solitary table. The one single table that everyone's sitting at. There is no kiddie table.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say they pulled out a card table for him.
The house explodes and everyone dies. All right. So everyone sat, and
Everyone's
food and drinks begin getting carted out by waitstaff. An assortment of people carrying large silver platters of expensive-looking food. The centerpiece is a massive roasted whole boar with an apple in its mouth. Surrounding the boar are a collection of sausages, quails, pheasants, and other small wild game. There are also massive heaping bowls of roasted vegetables, mashed potatoes, small meat and vegetable pies, mashed pumpkin with brown sugar and salt, various breads and butters, cheeses and fruits. Also placed on the table are numerous teapots, decanters filled with milk and cream, some bottles of red wine and white wine, freshly squeezed fruit juices, and a keg of ale. And Richmond just gestures for you all to dive in and says, "Ignore the envelopes for now. Eat." And he starts eating as well. Everyone else starts diving in.
Can
This
I?
does too.
Can you what? Who's what?
Can I cast detect magic?
Does it have some? It has all the. So someone's gonna know you're casting a spell.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sitting right next to my siblings, so yeah.
Okay, you cast detect magic, and everyone he looks at you with a weird kind of expression. Richmond does, and you
I
don't-
hope you don't mind if I'm a little cautious.
you have no reason to be cautious, but I understand.
Yeah.
And nothing pings off with detect magic,
Cool.
except your friends
Except-
who are carrying magic items.
Cool. Not even my siblings have magic items?
No.
No? Alright, cool.
So do you all eat?
Yeah, I'll start eating.
So how did you all meet Kenna?
We actually met at a feast where the people, I guess, at our table were poisoned. So you might understand.
Was that the one at
yeah.
was that the one at the Capitol last year?
Yeah,
Yes.
so you can... That's
Oh,
part of the reason for my...
That is
fish.
fair enough. Yes.
Yeah. It's also not the first time that someone's been attempted to poison at a feast we've been invited to.
You can see some.
It's kind of a pattern
you can
with
see
us.
you can see some of the other people, like the gathered people, kind of look at their food with like a double take, like
Yeah,
Druck
we
will
say-
just take a glass of that orange juice and chug it.
Look,
Ricky is just going to town.
A few weeks back, we actually saved the King of Remnant from getting poisoned by his uncle, nonetheless.
cousin.
Yeah. So
Uncle cousin.
Cousin.
I thought it was his cousin.
It was his cousin.
It was his
it was.
cousin.
I always get it confused. It was his cousin.
That's fair. I've had my fair share of sour experiences.
Yeah,
in
we also
life.
went to a village where there were these hags that were feeding people their own children.
And Ricky hears that.
What the fuck?
You guys,
They
you
were
guys,
doing
Kind of
what?
we talked about.
you guys promised you were going to tell Ricky that. Now Ricky just heard it.
What the
Wait.
fuck? Why would you?
What? Did that? I said that out loud, didn't I?
Fuck.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Look, he's looking at.
Stories.
So is this for all of you? Is this your first time in Holyshire? You can hear some of the guests go, yeah. Have you all been here before? How do you like it?
It's cold.
It's very cold. That's why we keep the manor warm and comfortable. The winters here are almost unending.
Yeah, it's pretty far north and just surrounded by mountains.
It is. It's remote. I like it. Did you all ever hear the ghost story about the workshop in the mountains?
I don't think so.
Well, a few decades ago, there was a workshop in the mountains. The old mayor of Holyshire ran the workshop making toys for the children of town. And one Wynocton day, the workshop was overrun by strange creatures, they say, and everyone died at the workshop save for one worker, who became the mayor of Holyshire. And the workshop sat abandoned since.
Huh.
Pendleton crumbling.
Is it? Did that happen around the same time that these winds started acting really
no,
crazy?
this was a very long time ago, decades.
Oh.
The winds have been like this for about the past week or so. They say people have been getting kidnapped by the wind. That doesn't really make sense to me. They say they've seen people getting drifted up, carried up into the clouds by unseen forces.
Yeah, speaking of that, we actually are also here on double duty.
Cool.
We actually took that job from the Wayfarers Guild.
What's the Wayfarers Guild?
Well, it's
I'm just
a
fucking with you.
Alright, cool. Yeah, so multiple reasons for being here, but mostly to meet you
Oh,
all.
so you're adventurers, mercenaries. That's interesting.
Yeah, we're pretty successful too.
Do you ever help people for free?
I think we have once or twice.
That's interesting.
It seems as though people give us money without any reservation more than request.
I don't mean to pry so much. I'm not too knowledgeable about how people.
I'm also sorry. I don't mean to drop into a sibling conversation. My bad.
Oh, he's addressing everybody.
Yeah, no, this is about the party. The party can.
But yes,
contribute.
my apologies for all the questions. I'm not too knowledgeable about people of your lifestyle.
Trade.
Lifestyle.
Yeah. A better word for
Basically, because he's trying to figure out a nice way to say, not rich, super rich like me. He's just trying to find a nice way to word it. Of your lifestyle. Is it a profitable lifestyle? Do you have time off, vacation days?
Not a lot of vacation
paid
days.
holidays.
I mean, we just had like a 15-day vacation.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, traveling here was kind of like the vacation.
I mean, although it's sometimes
Nice.
it's debatable whether the transit should really count as part of the trip, or if you're on your way somewhere.
It
that
should be considered part of your shift, and you should get paid
I
for
think
it.
it should. As soon as
I mean-
door to door, it should
One-
count part of
I like
transit.
being on
But
the
we're
road.
getting deep in. We already litigated stuff.
It feels like
earlier.
one time we spent 4 days in the same dungeon when it was really only like 12 hours.
What's a dungeon?
Oh, that is like it's like anything that you could imagine that is hard and nightmarish.
Full of monsters typically.
mhm.
Maybe
Yeah,
an
oh,
ancient
Some
civilization.
very strange puzzles.
Yes, imagine that.
Traps.
Yeah, all of your worst fears and they're all trying to actively kill you.
Oh.
That is kind of a dungeon, but also there are rewards,
So,
and you feel really accomplished once you have done
Would
it.
that mean that my house was a dungeon at one point when the bandits came in and tried to kill us?
Oh dang. Oh dag, yo. That is a definition I have not heard for dungeon, but it sounds like it fits.
None of us were killed, thankfully. Obviously.
Oh, good, yeah.
My mother was killed by a illness, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, a what?
She died in her sleep.
Oh, died of an illness. I thought you said a gellness, and I didn't know what a gellness was.
When he says died in her sleep, illness, you can see some of the siblings are kind of like looks of recognition, like kind of just like.
About how long ago?
Oh, I've lost track of the time. It's been it's been a while.
You remember how old you were?
Young.
Middle teens?
That sounds about right.
Alright.
Yes, I remember it though. Don't want to dwell on it if that's all right. Just.
Yeah, want to bring down the mood, kinda.
And then it was my father and then there was my father. This whole property was his, and I'm the sole owner of the property now.
So Quoin would kind of bump Dax, like wanna like Riven and be like, "Hey Dax, do they all look the same age to you? Is there a similar age thing?"
I can answer this for you guys. They all do not look the same age. There is some differences, yeah.
But there is so that means that their moms have an expiration date once conception happens, not necessarily an overall. I'm trying to just get information, but like
our moms didn't all die at the same time on the same day. I think my theory is that they all died when we reached a certain.
There's
so
it's an expiration date rather than everybody.
Yeah.
So it's
So Kenna, where did you? From what I gather, we're all trained in the art of druidic magic. Yes.
Yeah.
Where did you train?
I trained up in Vitmir.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, in the east.
Yes.
Opposite side of the country.
Yes. I trained here in the forests, actually, for a time. I was still allowed to live here in the manor. My parents were still around, and I trained here in the manor. And in the forests out back. And yes, my mentors were quite the nice people, Kia, Fear, and Shindara. They were very nice. And when he says that, there's other looks of recognition from the other siblings, too. Like, what the fuck?
I know them. They're the ones who trained me.
Oh, that must have been for a reason.
Yeah.
We were meant to meet, it would seem.
Are they dead now?
So it would seem.
Oh, are they? Did they pass?
Yeah. Yeah, they passed a few months ago.
Ah.
My condolences.
I thought I would have been given word. And the others go, yeah, I thought I would have been given.
It was very sudden.
What do you mean?
Well, a few weeks ago we went.
Did you do it?
You
seem to have intimate knowledge of it.
I mean, I was there.
You were there.
To be fair, they were already dead, but when we got there, they had just been reanimated. They were literally zombies.
As you keep going into detail, there's a peal of thunder outside.
But fuck.
He kind of looks around. We don't get thunderstorms up here. That's interesting.
Get away from the window.
No, it's fine. So for the rest of
Your
you,
death.
looks at Druck. How are you enjoying the food?
He's only been drinking the fruit juice. He's
how's the
really
juice?
getting a bang out of this fruit juice.
Okay. How's the juice? The servants freshly squeeze it every day.
I don't know, how's it?
Do you
Tastes
like
like-
it a juice?
You like
I
it, the
like it.
juice? It
I like
tastes
the
like good juice.
This is good juice.
Where are you from? If you don't mind me asking.
Forest.
Forest. You look the type. How do you keep twigs and that out of your hair?
I don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Reaches back, pulls one out of his leather, like, because it's just kind of bothering him anyway. Just kind of flicks it on the ground.
He asks nicely sometimes. I help get the birds out.
Looks over at Ricky. You seem like you're completely out of place. No, offense meant.
Oh no, I am.
I saw you looking around. Where are you from?
I'm from the town of Argent.
His face immediately goes a little kind of like, Do you like the druids there?
Oh, the elders? Well enough, I suppose. Yeah, they run everything. The circle, yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, the circle.
Yeah.
Have you witnessed the pool they guard? I've
No.
I've always been curious.
No, I'm not allowed. I
Well,
didn't go into the druid profession, so.
So what do you do? Like as a career, what do you usually?
You know, I was still figuring that out actually.
Do you have any prospects?
Well, a little. So I've done some. Let me check something real quick.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
He's an otaku.
Well, so you see, I think of myself as a bit of an artist.
Oh, interesting.
On the side, my mom says that it probably won't pan out. But I like to paint, and I play the drums. So
Oh, you play the drums.
yeah. So I'm thinking that maybe I could go on the road with playing the drums, or maybe we do get tourists occasionally in Argent. So I was thinking maybe I could I do some pretty good landscapes. So I think I could paint some landscapes and maybe sell those on the road as people come by.
That could be a good
People
venture.
usually aren't allowed in.
I hear Argent is very bare. If you catch my meaning.
Oh yeah. Not a lot of clothes.
And you're wearing clothes.
I am, yeah. I find so you don't do hunting, so it's all gathering, and I usually got assigned to gathering, and berry bushes are a little scratchy when you're not wearing pants and you're walking through them, I won't go into detail or anything, but so I've come to like clothes with just kind of moving around out in the world.
And how do your fellow Argentinians
Argentinians
feel about
An authentic
You-
Argentinian garb.
feel about you wearing clothing?
how do they feel? Do they mind? Or?
As long as it's not made from animal parts.
Well, so it's all just regular homespun fabric from cotton and things like that. So as long as there's no animal parts on it, so they don't mind. Where it's one of those things where it's it's a personal choice that everyone can make, but we don't judge each other for our personal choices.
Either birthday suits or leaves and roots.
Speaking
Yes.
of, he looks at Quoin.
Oh,
Hello. How are you?
oh, I am good. I feel like I can't belabor the point enough that I am currently on guard.
Yes, I've noticed.
Yeah, I'm not super comfy because the last time we had such a lavish feast laid out for us, someone did. A lot of people collectively did eat it, as they say, I think is the
Well,
popular term.
the food hasn't been poisoned, I can assure you, and
Yeah,
I
yes.
don't intend on killing anyone at my dinner. It is extremely
on.
frowned upon to kill guests in your own home. So
Right on. We've also been in a home where someone was mostly tongues, so that was wild.
moving on.
Right on. We've gotten what we need from each other. Perfect.
Who hasn't he talked to yet? Looks at Dax. What brings you this way? No. Sorry, I don't entertain often.
It's quite alright, you're doing a perfectly fine job.
Where are you from?
Trundleheim.
Ah, yes. Do you go back there often?
No, not particularly. I actually, for most of the time, been living on Coral Cove, but that recently changed.
Ah, with the Illithid.
Yes.
Interesting. How do you like living with them?
Oh, I love it. It's been one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Do you partake?
No, I do not. I go hunting. Me and my best friend have a nice little place together. We have our own pets together.
Oh, you have pets.
Yes. It was a very nice quiet life, I will say.
Why'd you
And
leave?
they were roommates.
And why did you leave?
Well, we went to the festival because we were around, we were gathering. We were getting, the cerebral, spinal fluid and all that from the crown, as, it's allowed. And then we stopped by for the festival, and then person died, had to investigate, and we just kind of got separated and just haven't made my way back.
You're all very interesting.
Do you like the Illithid?
I've never interacted with any.
Fair enough.
Looks at Flitz, kind of like staring. Where are you from?
Oh, somewhere up in the Frostshard Mountains.
Oh! You're a local. Whereabouts?
Further south, though.
Oh, towards Hollyshire.
No, further south, actually between the much closer to the greener lands on the other side.
That's interesting.
I got separated from my little pack, and
Deception check.
I.
That's just yeah.
We always found Zephyr on our travels.
Oh God. Yeah, no, that's a 9.
He doesn't say anything. He just says, "Oh, that's interesting. How do you like the cold then?"
It's not too bad. I'm a little used to it. I'm actually more uncomfortable with the heat. So.
Ah, yes. I can make it colder if you'd like.
No. You it's your home. Your other guests are more important.
And you're a guest.
Too. Yes, but I can handle it. It's alright.
As he has kind of talked to Kenna and Co. First, just so you know of what I have actually brought you all here for, was food. As was customary with my family's parties, each of you have been given a personal envelope. These parties were known for playing games, specifically a game of hide and seek throughout the entirety of the house and grounds. And you can see the Dorian, the dwarf with the goatee and the hair, kind of stifles a laugh. He looks at him. Yes, a game played by children, but these parties were the talk of the town. And the game specifically drew the attention of even the most curmudgeonly of adults. In each of your envelopes is a tarnished brass coin. completely worthless. However, one of your envelopes contains an immaculate brass coin. Whomever draws this coin is the hunter, and will be tasked with finding the others before the stroke of midnight. If you're found by the hunter, you must join them in finding the others before the final strike of the clock, which is in about 2 hours or so. 3 hours. Now, on occasion, the waitstaff may hide more than one immaculate coin in an envelope. So be warned. And he raises his own envelope and gestures for you all to do the same. So he gestures for you all to raise your own envelope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not just Kenner and
No, it's,
all
everybody
of us.
here.
Oh, okay.
You all have, it's what sat at your table to show where your seating was this envelope.
Gotcha.
So you all...
We all pick up the nearest
and
bill.
he shouts, "Now!" and rips his envelope open. You can see the other guests follow suit. Including the butler. The drow butler.
Butler did it.
As you all rip your envelopes open, you watch as, first, a simple, labeled map of the layout of the house and grounds slides out, followed by the clinking of a coin on the table. You each glance at the coins that have fallen from your envelopes, and you all notice the immaculate coin or coins fall out. So for the purpose of this is to determine who the hunter or possibly hunters may be. Everyone's going to roll a d20, so one at a time. So Ricky,
Is this something that we have to do publicly? Because Druck
yes,
would probably want to hide.
publicly.
Okay. No,
So
I mean
we know who the
like
hunters are.
Druck-
So they know who it is. Yeah.
Okay, so
We want to know who to avoid.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So Ricky, roll d20.
Natural 20.
Well. Okay. Coin. D20.
$16.
Okay. Kenna.
Natural 1.
Okay. Dax.
Seven.
Druck.
11.
Flitz.
Eight.
Okay. All right. And for the other people. Interesting. Okay. So, you all watch as a singular, immaculate brass coin falls from Ricky's envelope.
Oh,
There we have it! Our hunter, and he gestures towards Ricky. For the rest of you, Ricky as well, use the maps I have given you to find a hiding place in the house or grounds. Oswell, gestured towards the butler, has ensured every door is unlocked aside from my private quarters and his own. You have 20 minutes to hide before the hunter begins. He stands up, bows, and just bolts out of the dining room as fast as he can. The other guests look at each other, kind of confused, nod and head off as well. The butler just and wanders off.
Wait, do I just wait here for 20 minutes? Is someone going to let me know when it's been
Yes.
20 minutes? Okay, all right.
And as people begin to leave to go find their hiding places, that's what we're going to pick up next week. For a game of hide and seek.
Yes, adult hide and seek.
That's hilarious. I love this.
Druck
I was
wins.
thinking it was a murder mystery, but you
Ricky
know.
is just like, I ended up hanging out with my heroes. I got pulled into a weird game of adult rich person hide and seek, and I got picked to be the seeker. This is so weird.
Yep.
So you're living your best
It's really
life.
turning into like a most dangerous game situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
So-
the hunter is the one that has no idea what's going on.
Maybe Ricky's not actually the hunter.
Rick is the hunter.
Not the real hunter.
But yes, that's what we'll pick up next week for a game of hide and seek. I'll also give you guys the map of the grounds in the group chat. Just so next week we're gonna go one. Yeah, so next week we're gonna go one by one to see where you're all hiding. Everyone will take off headphones so no one knows where somebody's hiding, and it's gonna be a mystery indeed. Or you can just message me privately where you want to hide. Next week. So until then, that's it. That's that.